CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the Green Bay Packers against the Detroit Lions. And we're live at the Pontiac Silverdome, the home of the Lions. And all of us at CBS Sports wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Weather is not a factor. We're indoors in Pontiac, and it's always perfect. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall. It is a day to give thanks. And when you're 2-10, as are the Green Bay Packers, 5-7 as are the Detroit Lions, and out of the playoff picture, it's difficult sometimes to find something to be thankful for. But as we talk with both coaches of both teams, they have something to hang a hat on. With me, thankfully, is John Madden as usual. Let's talk about Detroit first. With 5-7 record, out of the playoff pictures, I said, what is their positive factor?
Well, you know, Darryl Rogers has always been an offensive coach, and I think the thing that he feels the best about, Pat, is that he has his quarterback. I think you need the quarterback. He's such an important guy, and he has his quarterback now, but he has his quarterback of the future, and that's Chuck Long. They took Chuck Long in the first round this year. He missed training camp, so he hasn't been much good to him this year. But I think they're going to start him in training camp next year, and he's going to be, they hope, their quarterback for 10 years. So at least he has an offensive line and a quarterback of the future, and then, of course, now he has to go after some defense.
John, as we talked to Forrest Gregg last night, first thing he said to us was, hey, I may be 2-10, but I'm happy about my football team. That's hard to believe, but he does have some positive thoughts.
Well, you know what he did? The Green Bay Packers were 8-8 for 3 years in a row. They were 8-8 the year before Forrest Gregg got there, and they were 8-8 his first 2 years. In the offseason, he said, we've had enough of that. That's mediocrity. We're just being an average team, and the guys we're being average with are getting older. So let's get rid of these guys. Let's clean this thing out. Let's bring in some new young guys and build something so that we can make that break. He said, I don't know if you believe this or not, he said, but we're only one player away from being a top team in the NFL, and that's a quarterback. I don't know how you get those guys.
Well, you have to search very hard. Del Greco will kick off, so the Lions obviously will get the ball. Herman Hunter, who is not the fastest kickoff returner, but one of the more effective returners, is back deep for the Detroit Lions. William Graham on one side, and Peter Manley, perhaps the fastest of the Lions, on the other side. And Del Greco will start things off on Thanksgiving Day. It will be Herman Hunter at his own 12. Hunter spilled at about the 25. Did well to hold on to the ball. The Lions offensive unit will come over. Kenneth Davis, the rookie running back from Texas Christian, tripped him up. Joe Ferguson has won his last 2 games, and that's the defense he'll be looking at. Alfonso Carricker, Robert Brown, the ends, and Charles Martin, who has become famous this week, will start at the nose. Harris, Scott, Noble, and Leopold, the linebackers. Secondary, Lee and Mossy Cade, the corners, Tiger Green and Ken Stills. It's a hitting group. James and Jones, the runners for the Lions. Ferguson, the quarterback. Fake to Jones. They're going up top. Jeff Chadwick out of bounds, close to midfield, knocked out by Brian Noble. A pickup of 25 yards on the first play for Detroit.
You know, one of the things that the Lions feel, when they got Jimmy Giles, it opened up their outside guys. And now Jeff Chadwick, again, is becoming a dominant player in this offense. Before they had a tight end, they used to double him all the time. Now they got Giles inside, and he's getting that single coverage out there, and he's doing things like that.
Chadwick is a wonderful athlete. He is split wide to the left, Bland to the right. Jones and James, and here goes Ferguson again. To Gary James. James to the Packer 42, and a flag follows. Bobby Leopold knocked him out of bounds. He got 6. Ken Stills also there. Jim Tunney is the referee.
That's going to be one of those getting out of bounds.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 29 added to the end of the run. First down.
See, once they step out of bounds, they blow the whistle. And the guy is supposed to stop at that. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm against unnecessary roughness, but I think that's tough. I mean, the guy is coming there. He's going up the sideline. I think that was just a continual contact.
How is he going to stop?
I think that Stills is a marked man in this league.
I think
really
he is too. Jim Tunney, again the referee, and he's certainly one of the best. Handoff Jones. A couple up the middle. Let's look at the Lion offense now. Ferguson, the quarterback. James and Jones, the runners. Chadwick and Bland, the wide receivers. Up front, a big rebuilt new offensive line. Brown, Salem, Barrows, Dorney, Stringer, and the new tight end, Jimmy Giles. 2nd and 9. Jones again. He rams to about the 25. Charles Martin made the stop after a gain of 3.
You know, the last time that these two teams played, the Detroit Lions rushed for 236 yards. And they had a big day, and that's what made Forrest Gregg change his defense. That's when he started playing Ken Stills and Tiger Green at the safeties, and that's when he put in Tim Harris, a linebacker. And he said, now we're a different defense, a different personality. So we're tough guys out there.
Lions lined up in their passing package on 3rd and 7. Leonard Thompson in the game, split wide to the right. Ferguson chased out of the pocket. Throws in the direction of Thompson, incomplete, and Eddie Murray will come on. Mark Lee on the coverage.
Well, they had a safety blitz on that play.
Albert Watts.
Albert Watts came up the middle. He's the guy that flushed Joe Ferguson out.
Murray will come on to try the field goal. Eric Hipple, who has a bad elbow, on to hold. Murray from 44 yards away. That's certainly within his range. The Lions came out throwing. Murray is right down the pipe. And the Lions on this Thanksgiving Day break on top. 3-0 Detroit with 12:37 left to play, first quarter. The Lions got a field goal of 44 yards from Eddie Murray. 6 plays, 50 yards. They kept the ball 2 minutes, 3 seconds. And now Eddie Murray, who put him on the scoreboard, will kick it off. Ken Davis. Back deep and in the middle for Green Bay. Watts and Stills are back there flanking Davis. Good kick by Murray. Davis 2 yards deep in the end zone, comes out. Comes out to about the 18, fumble. Ball's loose. Lion players saying we got it. And they do. Detroit gets the turnover. Alvin Moore is the man who made the recovery.
Yeah, we're going to watch Paul Butcher, number 96, coming down the field here. He's one of the best special team cover guys on this Lions team. Basically, that's what he does. You see, he takes on one block, does a spinner on another block, plays off a hold, and he gets right down in there the middle of that big pack stuff. And then whap, what happens? Underneath all that stuff is a ball. And Lions come up with it.
From Wayne State, Butcher.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a special team. He got the name. Who's running down on kicks for you? Butcher. That's good.
Perfect. 1st and 10 Lions from Packer 18. Jones left side, maybe a yard. Tim Harris made the tackle. Jones with that spin at the end might have gotten a little bit more. Gain of 3.
You know, when you're a bad team, one area that you can really get well on, and that's special teams. You can always find guys to run down under kicks and make tackles and cause fumbles and recover them and those types of things. Another thing, one of the good players on this team is their kicker, Eddie Murray.
Jones and James. James moves back behind Jones. Ferguson fakes to him. Look out. Intended Jones, but heavy pressure from the outside from Tim Harris. He's another individual who's turned this Packer defense around.
Well, you know, when we were talking to Forrest Gregg, he said 3 guys did. Tim Harris and then the 2 safeties, Stills and Green. He said, but this guy is a linebacker, and we said if we can teach him to play a little linebacker, we're really going to have something because he's a natural pass rusher. When you can put a natural pass rusher at that right side of the defense coming on that quarterback's blind side, you have something.
3rd down and 7. The ball at the 15. Chadwick and Bland both wide right. Giles stays in the game to the left side. And Ferguson looking in that direction. Giles comes up with a catch. Down at about the 1-foot line, it would seem. Tiger Green to stop on Giles.
Joe Ferguson is showing how much they have to go. Watch number 81. Jimmy Giles was an all-pro. He was waived by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No one in the NFL claimed him. The day after he was freed from waivers, then he was signed by the Lions. Darryl Rogers said that's one of the best things that happened to us since I become the head coach of this franchise.
He said you could just tell the first moment that Giles came onto the field, he was something special. In fact, he put him in a class with Billy Sims. Jones and Scott Williams. Ferguson is hit behind the line of scrimmage, and a penalty marker comes down from the outside.
I think that was a misplay all the way.
Darryl
I mean,
Rogers.
a bad play.
Bad, miss, whatever.
Well, I think the quarterback, Joe Ferguson, I think somehow misses a handoff.
Well,
no, he bobbled the ball out of there. Then he couldn't get the handoff. Then he tried to run to his left. But through all that, the Packers were offside. So it doesn't make any difference. They get the down over again a little closer to the goal line.
And the ball is almost touching the goal line. James Jones appears to be in. Yes, he is. Eddie Murray will come on to attempt the extra point. Darryl Rogers has to be sort of happy and thankful about what's happened so far.
I'll tell you, when you get down that close, all you have to do is run a couple steps and fall in. That's the first rushing down in the last 5 games, though, against those Packers, but that's as close to a gimme as you can get.
After the turnover, then the pass to Giles, then the offside. Murray is good. I don't know if you could really consider that to be a rushing touchdown. They didn't really jam it down there, did they? Darryl Rogers will take whatever he can. 10-0 Detroit. Detroit. 11 minutes, 1 second left to play in the first quarter. Murray set to kick off a Detroit scoring drive. 4 plays, 18 yards. Another minute 43 following Davis' fumble on the kickoff return. Lions recovered and took it in. The big play, a pass from Ferguson to Giles. Murray. It's going to be Albert Watts this time with Davis in front of him. Flag is down. Penalty marker. 16-yard return. Scott Williams down to make the stop.
Let's watch Butcher again coming down here. I'll tell you, the things happen. In fact, he came down the first time and caused the penalty. The second, I mean, he caused the fumble.
Illegal block on the return, number 54, half the distance of the goal line, first down.
And the second time he comes down there and causes a penalty.
That's Jeff Shue, number 54.
Yeah, he's right behind Butchers. He says, I'm going to get this guy one way or the other. I'll get him from behind.
So the Packers' first offensive play, and they will start back at their own 7-yard line. Ellis and Paulette Caruth are the running backs. That's Ellis. Out to about the 10. Sheldon Robinson on the stop. Let's look at the Lion defense. Ferguson, Williams, and Gay up front. The linebackers have King, Robinson, Vernon, Maxwell inside. Michael Cofer. And the secondary, Galloway and McNorton, the cornerbacks. Johnson and Mitchell, the safety. 2nd and 5. Ellis got 5. Randy Wright at quarterback. Caruth. Right side for 1. Shelton Robinson on the stop. The Packers offense, Wright the quarterback, Ellis and Caruth the runners, Lofton and Stanley in place of Philip Epps. Broke a leg last week, an ankle. Rutgers, Neville, Swanky, Hallstrom, Feingrad, and Ed West starting at tight end. Lofton and Stanley split wide left. Time. 30-second clock had expired.
30 seconds delay, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Forrest Gregg coached here, of course, against San Francisco when he took the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl. 3rd down and 9 as Forrest looks on. Very, very impressive individual. Moffitt is split wide to the left. Packers go with 3 wide receivers, 1 setback. Out of the spread. Eddie Lee Ivory across the middle. That should be enough for a 1st down. Eddie Lee, a guy who had such great statistics coming out of college. Ever since he's been with Green Bay, it's been one knee operation after the other. Now he's basically a wide receiver.
Well, you know, they put their 2 wide receivers out there, Stanley and Lofton on the right, and then just inside them they put Eddie Lee Ivory. So they had 3 guys out there with a lot of speed. So now Eddie Lee Ivory is probably the slowest, so he's the guy that gets the least amount of coverage.
Packers get it out to the 20, a 1st down. Right back to throw. Chased out of the pocket, does throw. Tight end Ed West. Enough for another Packer 1st down, a gain of 15. Maxwell and Robinson on the stop.
You know, Dan Ross is the normal starting tight end for the Green Bay Packers, and he has a stomach ailment, so he didn't start. Ed West started today. He was up in Chicago last week, Ross, and they thought he had appendicitis. They were going to operate on him in Chicago. His wife said no, took him back to Green Bay. It was just a stomach virus.
1st down, Packers from the 35-yard line. Ellis breaks close to midfield and does get it to midfield. Another Packer 1st down. Demetrius Johnson on the stop, but a gain of 15 for Gary Ellis. Robinson helped out.
There's one who got away.
So far.
Yeah, it's not lunchtime yet.
I don't know if we're sure he got away or not.
Watch Gary Ellis, though. He's normally been a fullback for the Packers. But Forrest Gregg said today, he said, I'm going to start my 2 most consistent running backs. And that would be Ellis and Caruth.
Lofton, yes. Down with it. Galloway cut him from underneath. But that's no jumping contest there.
I'll tell you, Keith Ferguson really hit Randy Wright after he throws the ball. Watch, he throws it, boom, right to the gun. Randy Wright has a bad knee going into today's game. In fact, he didn't practice all week.
And he took a pretty good shot right there.
Those are the ones, when they talk about injuries to quarterbacks, those are the ones that always miss. That hit after the guy throws it. They just let him get away with that.
First down, Green Bay at the Lions 33. Penalty marker down as Caruth bangs for another Packer first down. But the flag we'll have to wait and see about. Caruth a little bit slow in getting up. Now he seems okay. Against Detroit, I believe.
That's against Detroit. That's when the Packers will turn down because Caruth did get the first down.
He picked up 13.
Defense offside has declined. Yardage gain with the first down.
I'll tell you one thing about referee Jim Tunney there. I always felt when I was a coach, and I feel up here in the announce booth, anytime he's out there in the field, the game is going to be kept under control.
I couldn't agree more. First down, Packers at the Lion 20. It's Ellis. Right side spins for a gain of 2. Sheldon Robinson again on the stop.
You know, with Philip Epps out today for the Packers, one of the things Forrest Gregg said that he wants to throw deep early to Walter Stanley. Stanley's starting, and he has real good speed. But he said he wants these Lions to know it so he can get the double coverage off of James Lofton.
He is split wide to the right. Stanley. Lofton is to the left. We'll see who they double. They leave Lofton alone, but they made a mistake in not defending against Jerry Ellis. Johnson on the stop. Ellis for a gain of 7. That should make it about a yard short of the first down.
Well, the other thing the Packers feel they have to do is really be able to run the ball because we talked about Randy Wright, their quarterback, having a bad knee, and Forrest Gregg said he just can't move. So we have to be able to run well today because we can't do a lot of passing.
Packers go with 3 tight ends now. Ed West, Mark Lewis, both in the game, 3rd and 1. Way ahead to Caruth, leaves inside the 5 and bounces to about the 1. But again, the yellow flag. Ferguson was the man who eventually made the stop, but the penalty marker down is going to be against Green Bay. They're going to bring it back.
I'll tell you, the killing penalty to a coach is holding in a running game.
Number 57 failed to report. 5 yards, still 3rd down.
That wasn't holding. That was
Moran.
Rich Moran. He's a guard, and he came in to play tight end, and he didn't report. All he has to do is tell the referee, ineligible number, playing eligible position. But guards don't remember to say all those words sometimes.
Sometimes they're hard to say.
Right, and he just came off the injured reserve list today.
5 penalties already against Green Bay. They go out of the shotgun. Down the middle, intended for Mike Moffitt. Randy Wright's throw was high. James Griffin, the defender.
When the Packers lost Philip Epps, then they activated Mike Moffitt here. He's the guy in the slot that they're going to throw to. They say he's a tweener, that he's not really big enough for a tight end, and he's kind of too big and slow for a wide receiver. I think when you put him in that area, that slot place, maybe that's the place he should be.
Del Greco then to try a 34-yard field goal. Lions lead 10-0. Lions lead 10-3 as Del Greco has plenty of distance, and it's straight. 3:57 left to play in the first quarter. 10-3. That was our basic message. 10-3. The Lions over the Packers. 15 times these two have met on Thanksgiving Day in a series that began in Detroit in 1934. Del Greco to kick it off. Manley will handle it. And he is cut down on good coverage by David Greenwood.
Let's watch a play that really cost the Packers. Here's Richard Moran here. Now see, he's a tight end, so he didn't report, but he did make a pretty good block. He gets by here, comes boom here, the back goes in here, almost scores a touchdown. So instead of having 7, they had to end up with only 3. Watch that, see the tight end 57, see he didn't report. Got by, makes a nice block right there. Look at Kuthi, almost get to the goal line.
Lions take over at their own 17. They lead the Packers 10-3. Gary James stopped, tripped up by Charles Martin. A scoring drive by the Packers. 11 plays, 77 yards, a good drive. 6:04. They could easily, as John Madden said, have come up with 7 instead of 3. Second down and 4. 3:10 left to play in the first quarter. It's from their own 23. Hand off to James. James will get, well, it looked as if he might get the first down, but Tiger Green and Mark Lee shut him down.
That's one of the things that's stopping the running game, is getting these defensive backs in there. You know, like Lee and Tiger Green, because last time they had a big day, and Forrest Gregg says we just weren't intense. We didn't have any intensity in this defense.
Number 29, John, maybe we should explain Stills for the Packers. We said he's a marked man by the officials. We'll get into that in just a minute after this play. Third down and 2. Lions from their own 25. Ferguson in the direction of Gaines and Chadwick, not sure which. He was involved, Stills was, in an incident last year which provoked a lot of controversy, much the same as Martin this year. That's why we said he might be a marked man by the officials.
Well, it was against the Chicago Bears, and then the Martin thing happened against the Bears, and Stills is one of those aggressive guys who's always going to be around the ball. He's a hitter. Out of Chicago, they said that the defensive backs of the Packers are hooligans, hoods and hooligans. And he liked that.
Arnold's punt is blocked by the Packers into the end zone. Still scrambling. It might be out of the end zone. The Packers are saying touchdown, and now so do the officials. Tim Harris is the man who blocked it. Arnold had to scramble for the snap, and the Packers are within 1 of tying.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier, that when you don't have a good team, when you're building, one of the ways to build it is through special teams. Early, the Lions had a big play on special teams that they really got a touchdown from. Now here comes a blocked punt.
Harris.
That gives them the big play and the touchdown. So really, so far, we've had 2 touchdowns as a result of special teams play.
John Simmons, number 32, finally came up with the ball, and he scored the touchdown. Tim Harris blocked it, and Simmons got the 6. And the Packers will try the extra point. Del Greco will try to tie the score.
The play stands as called touchdown.
I think what they were reviewing is, did the ball go out of the end zone or not? They're saying it was recovered before it reached that end line.
Del Greco for the extra point to tie it at 10. And he does. 2:10 left to play in the first quarter. Happy Thanksgiving one more time. And right now, it's that kind of a day for Forrest Gregg. To play in the first quarter. 10-10. The score between the Packers and the Lions. Al Del Greco to kick off. Back deep is Herman Hunter. Pete Manley to his left. William Graham to his right. 2:10 left to play in the first quarter. Herman Hunter down to 7. Down Ed Berry, the first man down.
Let's look at that punt block again. You see what happens to Detroit? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Packers, and 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. So they got one extra guy. So he blocks him, and no one blocks this guy. Whoop, right up there. That was Tim Harris. See, watch it. See, they got an overload. They block out, they block in, and no one can get to 97 who blocks the punt.
Detroit on first down. Gary James headed outside. Hit hard by Tiger Green. It's another guy who has really added to the forcing, hitting secondary of the Packers.
Well, you know, and again, this guy, Tiger Green, blocked a punt last week for the Packers. So that's the second punt block they've had in 2 weeks. But more important than blocking punts is that he gives them another tackler in the secondary. And now they have 2 good tackling safeties.
Second down and 7. 10-10 tie at the moment. Ferguson back to throw it. Chased by Harris again. Gets away from him. Throws it upfield to the coach. This Packer outfit doesn't look like 2 and 10.
Well, they don't, but I think they were probably 2 and 10, that type of team early, and I think they just got switched around. I think they weeded some things out, got some new deals going there, and what they like even more about that is that they have a new personality. They have a different personality.
It's called aggressive.
Depends on where you are. If you're in Green Bay, it's called aggressive. If you're in Chicago, they call it something different.
Ferguson back to throw. Pressure is there from Ezra Johnson and Tim Harris again. 97 and 90. Swarm on the quarterback. First sack.
I'll tell you, Tim Harris is going to be something for this Packer team. You know, I mean, he can be an up guy or he can be a down guy. You see, he was up. Now he was out there as a left end. You see that move that he made?
And Johnson, Ezra Johnson, who is now basically a pass rusher, there to help out. Arnold back to kick. Stanley back deep for the Packers, and Arnold to punt. And he gets off a dandy. Coverage is there quickly. The Packers shut it down. There are no flags so far. Stanley cuts back, lost the ball. Ball on the ground. Packers got it back. William Graham knocked the ball loose from Stanley. A 50-yard punt, 30-yard return. Green Bay back in good shape at the Lion 38.
And that's what you need on any team. You need that speed. You need it as a receiver. You need it out here as a punt returner. And that's what Stanley gives this team. Because he gets a couple of blocks along the way, and that sprung him. Graham knocked the ball out. Looked like Stanley jumped on it, didn't he?
I think he did.
You see who was around that? Tim Harris. Harris has been all over the field today.
First down, Green Bay at the Detroit 38. Randy Wright goes right to work. Brought down one-handed by Ellis, and Ellis stays on his feet, gets down to about the 30. Knocked out of bounds by Galloway.
I'll tell you, there was Charles Martin we just saw on the sideline. We know that, you know, he got the suspension of 2 weeks, and he's going to appeal that. He can play today. He said he's going to New York Monday to appeal it. He said, it was wrong. He said, I apologize. I'm sorry. It was just a reaction. Boom, it went through my mind. Forrest Gregg said, there's no one more surprised that he did it than Charles Martin.
Morris said he's my favorite player. Here's Ellis. Left side, comes back. Hit it about the 30. Detroit defense led by Maxwell and Robinson, 2 of the linebackers. A gain of 3.
I'll tell you, when you have a Gary Ellis there at halfback and a Caruth at fullback, you have 2 pretty big guys lining up there behind your quarterback.
both in the 230 neighborhood. Now they go with Eddie Lee Ivory in the backfield. 3rd and 2. He's back there with Caruth. Randy Wright pointing and looking at a Detroit blitz coming at him. He picked it up. And the pass is caught by Mike Moffett. Nope, incomplete. Beg your pardon. James Griffin, the hit on Moffett.
I'll tell you, watch here. Here's the blitz, the safety blitz coming from the outside. Wright has to get rid of the ball before he gets there because they don't block him. And he does a good job. Watch the blitz coming the outside. No one there to pick him up. Wright sees the slant and does a good job of getting rid of that ball before he got the sack.
Del Greco back in then to try a field goal. This one from 48 yards with Don Bracken holding. That's going to be far enough. From 48 yards, Del Greco puts the Packers ahead 13-10. 1 second left to play in the first quarter. 13-10. Green Bay, after being down 10-0, comes storming right back. This Sunday, coming up here on CBS, the Rams against the New York Jets. Washington, St. Louis. Redskins battered, but still good. Tampa Bay against Minnesota. Doubleheader game, the second game here on CBS. Eagles at the Los Angeles Raiders, and Atlanta goes to Miami. A lot of playoff possibilities alive on Sunday.
Well, that's a great thing about football on Thanksgiving and football from Thanksgiving on. That this is where, you know, the guys that really aren't the good teams, they're going to fall down through the cracks. And conversely, the real good teams, you know, they start to rise to the top. And I think the teams that play the best between now and the playoff are the teams that are going to be in the Super Bowl.
Well, no matter how you say it or what you try to say about incentive and what you need to do, the prize at the end is what everybody's shooting for. William Graham stays on his feet, still on his feet. Flag comes flying out. Eddie Lee Ivory tripped him up. But a penalty marker down.
What do you think? One of those illegal block behind the back? Yep.
Don't you think?
Yeah, that's the #1 penalty called in the NFL. And that has been called like 100, and that makes the 183rd one on this Thanksgiving Day.
Illegal block.
2 today.
Number 54 is 10 yards. First down, end of the quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. And the score is Green Bay 13, the Detroit Lions 10. Busy first quarter. Pat Summerall, John Madden. We're at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Thanksgiving Day, the tradition continues. The Lions had the ball. The Packers lead in the game 13-10. Lions at their own 19. First and 10. Ferguson, the quarterback. They've won 2 straight under his leadership. James Jones and Gary James behind him. Looking for Chandler. Through his hand. Stills on the coverage.
Well, Stills is that safety in there that's always has to be inside when you throw inside. If you throw inside, you have to be able to get in front of that weaker free safety. And he's waiting in there. You could just see him kind of tensing up. He loved that.
When he is waiting, you can expect some contact.
You know, they have the saying that this guy likes to hit that guy. There are very few of them that really like it. I think he's one of them.
Second and 10 then. Detroit from their own 19. course, that the Lions moved. Let's see what Jim Tunney said.
Encroachment. Defense. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
Well, Charles Martin thought he saw something that didn't happen.
This has to be a tough game for Martin. 6'4", 280, the defensive end. John Madden said before he's been suspended for 2 games, but he's headed for New York on Monday. He's going to appeal that suspension. 2nd down and 5. This is Gary James. James, 1st down, Detroit. Took a tough shot from Harris and Tiger Green.
And Tiger Green had to give a lot of, like high 10s from his back. But those guys like that, when they can come and that defensive secondary comes up the field. You see, right here, now here comes the hit that knocks it backward. Everyone is looking on defense for the hit that knocks it backward. Then if you get the hit, then you get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 you get.
Nevertheless, the Lions got a 1st down. Charles Martin smashed Gary James backwards.
That's the thing. You have to get the nose tackle blocked if you're going to run inside. Because this is what happens when you don't. Watch him. Martin starts a move. He has a double team, an arm around his neck, but he's still able to get in there and get this helmet in the middle of Gary James.
Good play by the nose tackle, Charles Martin. 2nd down and 11. Ferguson back to throw. Intended. Giles knocked away by Tiger Green just at the last second.
I'll tell you, that nose tackle doesn't watch well. Watch number 70, the right guard, Dorney. He's going to come down on Martin that time. He said, you got us once. Now Dorney, Keith Dorney, number 70, is one of the best players on this Lion team. If they got an all-pro, Dorney's probably the guy.
3rd and 11. Lions from their own 31. Leonard Thompson split wide to the left. Herman Hunter, James Jones back in the backfield with Ferguson. Packers showing blitz, and here they come. Look out, Joe. David Greenwood. And Harris again. Close to Ferguson. 2nd sack of the day.
Well, here's where they get it. See what happens. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 Packers that are coming against only 3. So you get the thing, and you're going to get the extra guy. And in this play, it almost averages 2 guys that get free. See, there's 4 coming on the left side. There's 1 free. Greenwood right up the middle, but the guy that was being blocked was the first guy there.
And that was Harris.
Been all over that guy.
Really?
He's all pro today.
Arnold's punt. Walter Stanley took it. Punt of only 33 yards, and the Packers will take over at about their own 47-yard line. They lead by 3. Full weekend. College football here on CBS. Thanksgiving Day is full of football here on CBS. Packers leading the Lions 13-10. 1st down, Green Bay. Randy Wright back to throw under pressure. Gets out of it. Gets the ball down to Ed West. Packer 1st down. Shelton Robinson made the stop, but a pickup of 15. We're at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Pat Summerall, John Madden. 13-10, Green Bay leads Detroit. We just started the 2nd quarter. 12 and a half minutes left before halftime. The Lions broke out to a 10-0 lead. Recovered a kickoff fumble. Took it in. The Packers came storming back. They lead it now 13-10. Handoff to Caruth. Stopped by Ferguson as he goes over the left side for a gain of 4.
Here we talk about what the Lions need, and I think Darryl Rogers feels pretty comfortable with his offense. You know, we talked about Chuck Long is eventually going to be his quarterback. He likes his running backs, his offensive line. He says defense. He said we need some linebackers, some defensive linemen, some secondary, and a punter. That's the other thing.
2nd and 6, and that's been illustrated today. Handoff is to Ellis, and Ellis is going to be close, very close to a first down after a gain of 5. Angelo King made the stop. There is the hope of the future. Big Chuck Long, and big he is. 6'4", 211.
Well, you know, he got in last week against Tampa Bay at the end of the game, threw one pass. It was completed for 34 yards and a touchdown. He got in to run the clock, and the guy said, hey, you may as well, you know, throw a pass. And he said, no. He said, I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should. And one of the linemen said to him, heck, you're third string, aren't you? What they going to do to you?
Let's go downtown.
Yeah, let's go downtown. He said, okay, I'll go. I'll go downtown.
He completed that pass to Leonard Thompson. You can see how much short they are of the first down. And when he told Leonard Thompson, we're going downtown, Leonard said, you serious?
Really? As I said, if you're down at the bottom, you can't go any deeper, so you may as well do what you want. That time we saw there Richard Moran, number 57, will play tight end. He reported in this time because we saw him do it.
So they go with the 2 tight ends now. West and Lewis. Need a foot. Carew. Got much more than a foot. He gets down to about the 16. A gain of 13 before Bruce McNorton brings him down.
See if you can get in, and then you can get reported that you're number 57. You're playing an ineligible position or an eligible position. Then you get a block like that. Then you get some room and a short yardage, and you can break Caruth for another big one. And all you have to do is report to the official. See, Richard, all you have to do is tell the official, ineligible number, playing eligible position.
It's hard to remember, John.
You know, then you're all fired up, sweating stuff.
First down, it's Ellis, and Ellis down to about the 10. Another good game. 6 times, 6 yards. Maxwell stopped him.
I think one thing, you look at this game and you say, you know, this team is a better team than a 2-10. This Green Bay Packers. And, you know, that's what Forrest Gregg said. He said last night, he said, you may think I'm crazy. Well, no, we don't. He said, but I am impressed with my team. I like my team now.
That's Caruth. Gets down to about the 7. Stopped by Ferguson, a gain of 3. About a yard shy of the first down. Here comes Moran back in. Let's watch what he does this time.
He'll know where to go. See, look at him. He got his hand up. See, he doesn't say the words. He's been doing it now. He tells the official, I'll just give you the signal, okay? No words. Hey, Gil. I bet they run in there to that. Oh, he's going to the left side. I bet they run to the left side this time. They run, put him, he's like an extra guard out there. Then they run to that side.
They have West right behind him, flanked right behind Moran. And so far, that's the direction in which they've gone, wherever he went. This time they fool us, but they don't fool the Lions. No gain. Shelton Robinson again on the stop.
Maybe we were right. Maybe they should have stayed to that side. Because that's where your power is. You have the 2 guys over on that side. Wright could have audibilized. You see him up there? He was talking right and left. But they didn't get the blocking done over there. Now they're going to have to settle for a field goal. I always like to put my big guys, my power guys, and run, boom, right in behind them there.
That seems rather logical, doesn't it?
Well, I never felt you ever wanted to try and fool anyone on short yardage or goal line.
Del Greco from 24 yards to make the Packer lead 16-10. And he's 3 for 3. And that is their lead. 8:52 left in the first half. And Green Bay leads Detroit 16-10. As Jerry Wampler, the offensive line coach, talks to his troops. Green Bay leads 16-10, 8 plays, 46 yards. Kept the ball 4 minutes, 4 seconds. Del Greco finished it off with a 24-yard field goal. And he'll kick off right now. Herman Hunter in the middle. Very, very short kick. Herman Hunter. Upended by the Packers at the 32. John Simmons made the stop. Sonny steps in between two of the players to calm things down. Playoff picture. NFC East, first of all. The Giants and Washington tied for first at 10-2. And the Central, the Bears are 10-2. And in the West, the Rams by a half game over the 49ers. That's the rest of them. Those are the rest of them. 49ers with that tie. And Dallas at 7-5. Lions give the ball to James Jones, and he gets around the outside, stays on his feet, gets to the 39. Stopped finally by Charles Martin, but he got 7. Hey, John.
I'll tell you, you know, talking about, yeah, they remember. You know why they remember? Because the last time I was here with the Raiders, we got beat here in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. It was a 12:30 game. California time, it's only 9:30. We come in, we go down the field, boom, we hit a touchdown, Blitnikoff. Second time, boom, touchdown to Blitnikoff. 14-0, we're ahead, and boom, we just died. And they beat us right here, Thanksgiving Day.
The time got you.
But not indoors. This was in the old days when you played outdoors.
James shakes away from one tackler, comes up about a yard short of a first down. Brian Noble made the stop. Gain of 2. Thanksgiving highlights of games past. The first one was in 1934 at the University of Detroit Stadium. 35. Lions clinched the divisional title. 56. There was the first game on national TV. And then the most famous, perhaps, was in 62. And then I don't know why they put that last game there, except in tribute to you.
I don't know. We had tribute to losing. But you win games, never a mention. You lose one game on Thanksgiving, it's a highlight.
Jones gets the Lions first down. Stopped by Randy Scott first. Gain of 4. And the Lions move up to their own 45 with 7 minutes, 5 seconds left to play in the first half.
Yeah, it's interesting as we watch James Jones here that a week ago when we were talking about him and we were talking to the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Downs said of all the backs in the league, he's the toughest guy to tackle. He said, I'm going to vote for him for the Pro Bowl.
Darryl Rogers said he's the guy who can do everything. Block, throw, catch, run, everything. Pass deflected, intended for Bland, tipped by Tim Harris.
I'll tell you, this Tim Harris, he's going to be, they don't have like a thing, but we can make up one. He's going to be all Thanksgiving. I know there was a article. Yeah, we just make him. Tim Harris is all Thanksgiving. He makes the team. But he's been in on blitzes. He's been in on special teams plays. He's blocked punts for touchdowns. This guy in a half a play, and I mean a half a game, has been a dominant defensive player.
Might he make the all-Madden team?
Well, he's working on it. If we only had some grass, some weather here, he'd have a shot.
Let's give him all Thanksgiving. Here comes the Packer blitz. Ferguson whips it outside to James Giles. Tiger Green on the stop, but Giles came up with it. Ferguson now 4 out of 11, a gain of 8.
You know, Forrest Gray gives most things away with his eyes. And when he was talking about Tim Harris, there was a sparkle in those eyes and a little smile. You know that smile that says I'm not laughing? It's a different type of smile, like, hey, that's the way this game's supposed to be played.
It means look out for this guy.
Look out. He's the type of player, it's my type of player, it's the type of player that Vince Lombardi would have loved.
Like Forrest Gray. 3rd and 2. The give is to Jones, and he's close. Packers saying he didn't get it. Tiger Green again came up to make the stop, along with Brian Noble. Looks like he might be a little bit short. Just a little bit.
He is. I think it's Thanksgiving. I think you have to go for it. Now what the Lions do is they put 2 linemen at tight end. The Packers put 1. They use an offensive lineman, and a nose tackle as their 2 tight ends in short yardage. I think it's Thanksgiving. What the heck? You got to go for it, huh? I mean, even if you don't get it, you can't say, oh, they shouldn't have done it. Baloney. Go.
And they use 2 big backs to go along with it. The big back they use to get the first down is Jones, and he gets it. First down, a gain of 3. Ball came out, but it came out late.
I think Mossy Cade just took it away down there at the bottom. You see right here, good power, good movement. Jones gets in there behind. He has the first down already. Dills takes him down. See, Cade's down there. He's trying to get the ball out of there, and he does. But, of course, the whistle blew long before that.
So it's first down, Detroit, just outside the Packer 42, with 5 minutes left to play in the first half. James and Jones, the 2 runners. Nothing there for James Jones. Again, Tim Harris and Charles Martin on the stop.
I wonder if Tim Harris showed up. Now he's a linebacker. I wonder if he showed up in these Lions scouting report, because they haven't had anyone in there blocking him. I mean, he's been a defensive lineman down rushing the passer. He's been a linebacker blitzing. He's been on special teams. This guy's all over the joint.
2nd and 12. Here he is. They better find out where he is. Ferguson back to throw. Has some time this time. Flag is down back where holding is usually called. James came up with the reception. They gained 3. They're saying Ferguson is, at least, it's against the Packers. And now the crowd agrees.
Well, you know, it comes back there where it's either going to be offensive holding or roughing the passer, or that place where they hit him in the face, where they hit the offensive lineman in the face. One of those 3.
Number 76, unnecessary roughness, 15 yards added to the end of the pass, first down.
Alfonso Carricker is number 76. And they call it against him.
And he's going against Rich Stringer.
First down, Lions at the Packer 26. Green Bay leading 16-10. Fake to Jones. Ferguson with Chadwick. Out of bounds in front of Mossy Cade. And another Detroit first down, a gain of 14.
Hey, if they can get some time, and if they can get Harris blocked, then Chadwick can do this. I mean, he can work those ins and outs and those hooks. Then if they start getting tight on him, he's a guy that does have some speed. He can go deep.
That's Tiger Green, the injured Packer. He, too, has had an outstanding first half. While they attend to him with 3:32 left in the first half, the score is 16-10 Green Bay. $16-10. Tiger Green on the sideline.
Here's what happened to Tiger Green. Here he is. He's going to come on a blitz. Boom. Keith Dorney hits him here, and then James Jones comes and bounces him here. When you get the safety up in here with these guys, things like that happen. Watch him. He comes in. Watch number 70. Hit him right there. Knock him to the outside. Then James Jones comes and finishes him off. He looked like as Jones hit him, his foot was caught in the turf.
First and 10 Detroit from the Packer 12. Greenwood has taken Tiger Green's place as Ferguson looks in zone. Has a man. Giles had it and dropped it. He put a magnificent move on Greenwood, but forgot to catch it.
Giles is wide open here. Ferguson sees him, puts the ball right there. It went right through his hand. I thought he had it for a little while. Let's watch the move. Goes up, out, boom, boom, boom. And then he gets Greenwood turned to the outside. He goes to the inside. It was too easy for him. He dropped it.
Right.
Hey, he still showed that he has some quickness of him. Those were some quick moves he was making.
About 3. Second down from the 12. Still need 10 for the first. They had 6. This didn't work out. Here comes the Packer blitz. Quickly to Giles. And again, Greenwood. He took him in. This time he took him out. And Ferguson might be out.
It'll be interesting who the Lions will go to. Will it be Chuck Long or Eric Hipple?
Long is up. Just went to get his helmet.
And Eric Hipple has a baseball cap on. So I think the guy with the hard hat would be the guy that would play.
Looks like Ferguson will stay, though.
Hey, here comes a blitz up the middle that flushed him a little to the right. Looked like he got hit at his knee just as he stepped forward.
And it brings up a 3rd and 10 situation. James is out and Alvin Moore is in. Ferguson back to throw. Semi rollout, almost picked off. Bland was the intended receiver. Mark Lee is the defender. No penalties.
Hey, Mark Lee makes a nice move on that ball. You see, by getting in front of him, then that can't be interference because he's just going to catch a ball. Had he stayed behind him, then that could have been pass interference. But that was good coverage by Mark Lee. But hey, he has pretty good arms. He has some of that Popeye stuff going there. Did you see that?
Spent some time in the weight room.
I think just as the receiver went to make that cut, he slipped. Carl Bland, and that allowed Lee to get in front.
Del Greco, beg your pardon, Murray from 30 yards, and that makes it 16-13. 3:10 left to play in the first quarter. And the Lions have narrowed the margin to 3. Green Bay 16, Detroit 13. 3:10 left in the first half. At the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, the home of the Lions. Detroit scoring drive, 14 plays. It went 56 yards. Murray finished things off with a 30-yard field goal. He's ready to kick off. Ken Davis back deep in the middle for the Packers. In his direction, Davis at his home one. Got a little room. Outside the 30, about the 31, where he's knocked out of bounds. 29-yard return. Graham knocked him out of bounds. Doubleheader game number 1 next Sunday here on CBS. Of course, it begins with the NFL today. 12:30 Eastern Time. Rams, Jets, Washington, St. Louis, Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Game 2, either the Eagles at the Raiders or Atlanta at Miami.
You know what's going to be interesting about that Rams-Jets thing? The Rams got some more offense, and the Jets are losing their defense.
Ellis, right side. Not much. Demetrius Johnson up to make the stop. Clock running. 2:45 left to play in the first half. A gain of 2 for Ellis. Tiger Green, by the way, has a banged-up knee, but he might be back. It's his right knee. It'll be 2nd and 8. Packers have the ball at their own 32. They lead by 3. Wright. Lofton. Lofton has some room and scampers out of bounds. When we asked Darrell Rogers yesterday about what he had to do, he said, first thing we have to do is stop that guy, number 80.
You know, the thing about it, that was the only thing he said, though. So what do you have to do defensively against these Packers? He said, stop Lofton. And then you wait and you think, you know, the run, the thing, the other guy, nothing. He said, this guy can beat you all by himself.
He's done it to a lot of people. Packer first down. Detroit 48. outside of Ellis. Blocker in front. Ellis finally knocked down at about the 42. Sheldon Robinson again, a gain of 6.
Looked like Gary Ellis got a right on that right knee.
We get the 2-minute warning. Ellis will get some attention. Packers leading 16-13. Thanksgiving Day. Coming up at the halftime, Brent, Ray Nitschke and Billy Sims in our New York studio. Also, Travis Williams still holds the NFL record for kickoff return average in a season. But it's been a long road since. Ann Butler has that story at halftime. Also have a report on the first half action of today's game. Coming up at the half. Green Bay, second down. Out of the spread, Detroit trying to put pressure on. They get the ball out to Stanley. Stanley will have it up for a first down. Randy Wright read it well.
You know, Pat, last week you said that we can't really have the turkey in the game too, where the people watching it can. I just saw a shot. One of our cameramen, I think, has a turkey. And look at the camera. He's eating the turkey during the game.
Lofton out of bounds. Wayne Galloway knocked him out. Lofton after a gain of 15. Another Green Bay first down.
You know, James Lofton is such a graceful athlete that when he gets open like that, it looks so easy. And you say, why don't you just throw to him like every play of the game and like throw him 60 passes a game?
Al Toon of the Jets is like that. Jerry Rice of the 49ers is like that.
It wouldn't be a bad group, have them all on one team. Lofton, Rice, and Toon. Who would you throw it to?
You'd be a great coach. Going deep. Incomplete, intended for Stanley. He almost had it. McNorton was the defender who batted it away at the last second.
Well, that was one of the things the Packers feel that they had to do, is to go deep to Stanley. Because if you just keep throwing to Lofton and you major in that, eventually they're going to double and triple him. But if you say, hey, we'll also throw to Stanley, he can also run very fast, and we'll throw to him deep, then you can't put too much attention on 80.
16-13. Both teams have all their timeouts remaining. A minute 23 remaining. Second and 10 Packers. Detroit 21. Wright scrambles out of the pocket for Stanley. Touchdown Packers. Give a big assist to the scrambling ability of Randy Wright. And the defender, McNorton, fell down just as the ball was on the way.
That was a heck of a play by Randy Wright. Injured knee, didn't practice all week, couldn't even practice yesterday. To watch him stop, see that ball all the way across the field, and look at that hit that he took after he threw the ball. That's where quarterbacks get hurt. They can put in the grasp in the thing. They don't get hurt when they have the ball. They get hurt after they throw it when no one's watching them.
Del Greco for the extra point with Bracken holding. It's good. Green Bay 23, Detroit 13.
Stanley up there in top. You see, when Wright went to the right, the defender went inside and fell down, and that left Stanley open outside.
What you call a graceful spike and a trip to Honolulu.
Those are good. I mean, that's good celebration, and that I guess is legal celebration. But you know, on that hit on Wright, I've always said they protect the punters, the kicker. Now watch, he's throwing, the ball's gone. Now boom, boom. You can't do that to a kicker. Why do they let him do it to the quarterback? That's where they get hurt. And we've lost so many quarterbacks in the National Football League that I don't know. I mean, you know, we have the Martin thing. He says he was wrong. That was after an interception. Boom. Okay. But there's still too much of that going on.
Well, we got to come up with an answer. It has to be, you have to protect the quarterback like the kicker?
That's what
too drastic?
I have an answer. You give the referee. He's the guy behind the quarterback. You give him a horn, and it's not like a whistle. Doesn't stop the play. When the quarterback throws the ball, he goes, honk, honk. That means once you hear honk, you can't hit the guy anymore, just like a kicker. And then if he doesn't go honk, then you can hit him.
Here's Del Greco's kickoff. A bouncer. William Graham winds up with it. Room around the corner. Couldn't quite break away from Eddie Lee Ivory. Just to continue the thought that we were talking about, not that we have the authority, take a look at the list of injured quarterbacks this year.
Well, yeah, and these guys, I mean, the NFL is a passing league, and it's a league of quarterbacks, and you have to have a quarterback. And I don't think we can just throw these guys around like that, and knock them into this artificial turf, knock them out. The surgery is the thing. I just think something has to be done about it. I really do. And I don't want to hear about put skirts on them. I mean, that's a dumb thing. Yeah. That's old.
First for Detroit. Ferguson to James Jones, and we're not through yet. No, I don't want any skirts either. And the quarterbacks don't want that.
No. All I want to do is, if we're competing and I got the ball, come after me. But after I throw it, I'm not protected.
Ferguson steps up, fires. Incomplete. Chadwick was the intended receiver. Clock stopped with 37 seconds left to play in the first half. The list continues. Randy Wright, of course, did suffer that concussion. He did have a bad knee. However, he just threw a touchdown pass. Eric Hipple on the left with the baseball cap on. Ferguson over talking to Rogers. Green Bay Packers up by 10. Packers up by 10, 37 seconds left to play in the first half. The Lions just took that timeout. And so they have 2 left. Green Bay has 3.
Hey, I'll tell you, there's a guy, that Ray Nitschke. When I think of linebackers, you think of Butkus and you think of Nitschke. And the guy's right there in the middle, those eyes, keying that quarterback. Whoa! What players those guys were.
Second down and 10. Ferguson back to throw, just barely has time. He has Bland, who stays on his feet, and a penalty marker goes down. 2 flags down. Ferguson limping. A gain of 23 right there.
Here's where Ferguson gets it right here. Again, after he throws the ball, you see, he gets high, low from hand. That's not the penalty. They don't call that. The penalty and the flag was downfield on the Packers side.
It was a gain of 23. Ferguson never saw the completion. And Jim Tunney about to tell us about the violation.
2 penalties, 2 fouls against Green Bay, holding 29 and 5-yard face mask defense. 5-yard face mask will be accepted.
So the penalty.
You can see right here, you see the face mask right there. The left hand coming across, grabbing the face mask. That's the only penalty, but again, I won't even say anything more about it. I'm getting tired of myself.
So they get the gain, 23 yards. They mark off 5 more, and the Lions on the move with 29 seconds left to play in the first half.
This has been an all special teams game. When you think of all the scores, they've been punt blocks and touchdowns set up by fumbles on a kickoff and field goals. It's been all special. I think all the points in the game have been by special teams.
Or at least set up by special teams. First down, Detroit. Ball at the Packer 22. Chadwick and Bland split to the right. Leonard Thompson to the left. Ferguson back to to throw. Has some time. Chadwick at about the 13. Clock running, 22 seconds, and now the Lions use their second timeout after a gain of 8. They have 1 left. Ferguson over with Rogers and Hipple. CBS Sports. Again, a reminder, we'll present a Thanksgiving weekend of college football. Starting tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern, the ACC matchup between Maryland and the Cavaliers of Virginia. And on Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, Notre Dame against their longtime traditional rival USC. Holiday weekend of college football action here on CBS. Chuck Long in the background.
You know, his quarterback rating, Chuck Long's, leads the league. It's like 156.
1 for 1 touchdown, 34 yards.
Yeah,
right?
no interceptions.
No
So
sacks.
That'll put you, that'll put you high in those ratings. And last week he had an auspicious start in the pregame warm-up. He was out there warming up, and he thought that Joe Ferguson was looking at him. And he goes boom, and he throws the ball, hits Ferguson right square in the face, and knocks him out. He goes down. He has to take a knee. Ferguson said, "Hey man, if you want my job, just say something. You don't have to put me out before the game starts."
Ferguson had not put on his helmet. Now he will.
He's just warming up, playing catch.
He is back to throw. Pressure in his face. Knocked away at the last second by Mossy Cade. Intended for Leonard Thompson. David Greenwood also back on the coverage. And again, Ferguson took a lick.
Tell you, this is where the Packer defense is playing strong. I mean, they had 2 guys on there really defending that end zone.
Only 16 seconds remain. Flag is down. Pass down the middle of Chadwick. Incomplete. Ken Stills in the area. But a penalty marker down, and it's going to be against Detroit.
I tell you, that's been one of the problems for the Lions all year is the inconsistency of their receivers. You know, Rogers said since they got Giles, you know, it's picked up a little.
Number 61, 10 yards, still 3rd down.
But inconsistency has really been their problem.
Penalty against the offensive center, Scott Barrows. And they move it back to about the 23-yard line. 11 seconds left to play in the first half. 3rd down and 11.
Well, the one thing that it didn't do is it didn't knock them out of field goal range.
Not for Eddie Murray. Thompson is split wide to the right. Chadwick and Bland to the left. Chadwick, touchdown, Lions. Ferguson hit again just as he let it go.
He is taking a beating. Jeff Chadwick runs a post pattern. He's the inside guy. Runs right up there, gets in front of the first defenders, and gets behind Stills. That was Stills' play in there, and Ferguson drilled it in before Stills could get over.
So Murray will try the extra point. The Lions pull closer. Packers 23, Detroit 20. 4 seconds left to play in the first half.
Tell you, the other thing about that was good pass protection by the Lions. We're going to see that they get the Packers to the outside. And they have an area here where Ferguson can step up and thus see Chadwick going to the post. But you have to be able to see that guy to hit him. We can bring it here and stop right now. You see, here's the Packers out here, and here's the throwing lane that he can get that ball up to Chadwick in. And it starts with pass protection. Everyone to the outside, give me the lane to throw, give me the receiver open.
They got it all. And Chadwick made the catch. 6 plays, 65 yards. They kept it a minute and 11 seconds. And the touchdown pass, 23 yards from Ferguson to Chadwick. Now, what kind of kickoff from Murray? A bouncer? I'm sure.
I'm sure it'll be some type of bouncing thing. He's not going to kick it deep. He's not going to really let him get a return. It'll be one of those things where you just try and get it by the front line.
Don't forget at the half, Brent, Ray Nitschke, Billy Sims, Irv Cross is here with us. He'll bring us a live on the field report. He made the trip from Tiger Stadium. 4 seconds remaining. Murray comes out with his most prized possession. Well, 2. The mouthpiece and the tee.
And then the third, the black shoes. See, and he has, you know, the 2 shoes, they look alike, but they're nice black ones with a little red on them. But at least they're the same thing. I mean, the plant foot has the same type of shoe as the kicking foot.
That's unique.
Now, what's the mouthpiece for? Oh, he took it out to talk. Oh, now he put it back in to hit.
To tell him what he's going to do. Not to hit. Line drive kick bounces into the end zone away from the Packers, and they down it back in there. That should be, well, 4 seconds left still in the first half. And he got the job done.
You know, the funny thing is that kick, it just went right through everyone. It didn't hit anything, so the clock didn't start. I used to play a pinball machine that way, and I was wondering why sometimes it would go all the way down, hit nothing, and go right into the hole, and I didn't even get the flipper to work. You know what I mean? That thing just went like the ball going through the pinball machine and not hitting any things.
I know what you mean, but I don't know why the flipper didn't work.
Well, I was so shocked that it didn't hit anything, my fingers didn't clip.
Packers will take care of the last 4 seconds, and they head for the locker room. That's the end of the first half. With the score, Green Bay 23. Ready to go from the Silverdome in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. Eddie Murray to kick off for Detroit. The Lions trail by 3. Walter Stanley is number 87, back deep for the Pack. Good high kick by Murray. Stanley at the 1. Just gets past the 15 before John Bostic is down to knock him down. And the Packers will take over deep in their own territory. Green Bay, the first 4 times they had the ball, got field goal, field goal, field goal, touchdown. They fumbled on a kickoff, and Detroit took it in. It's the first time this season, as you can see, the Packers have scored on their first 4 possessions. Lofton is left, Stanley is right. They get, however, to Caruth. Flag is down. Caruth running hard, got 11 yards and up for a first down. Bruce McNorton made the stop, but penalty against the Packers.
You know, Paul Ott Caruth went to Alabama. He wasn't going there, but he was recruited by Bear Bryant. Bear Bryant called him 5 times in one day.
Half the distance of the goal line, still first down.
And if he said, if the great Bear Bryant can call me 5 times in one day, he wants me, and I better go there.
First down and 18. Back at the 8 for the Packers, leading by 3. Second play of the second half. Andy Wright to Gary Ellis. Right side about the 11. A gain of 3. Eric Williams, the tackler.
It's always one of the problems in the running game. If you can't afford that penalty. You get that thing and you get a first down, then you have the holding penalty, and you go back. Then, whether you want to or not, you get placed in passing situations.
Lofton this time is to the right. And Wright back to throw. Gets it out to Carew. He gets back to about the original line of scrimmage after a gain of 6. Demetrius Johnson and Robinson make the stop. Packers come in with their long yardage third down package. They need 9 for the first.
Well, that includes Mike Moffitt, who was just activated today. And he'll usually play one of the 3 wide receiver positions, usually a slot position.
He is joined by Eddie Lee Ivory, who's in the backfield. Wright yelling what would appear to be inaudible as the Lions start on a blitz. Come out of the package, it's Lofton, and Lofton had it go right through his hand. Good throw by Wright. Lofton knows it. Devon Mitchell, James Griffin back there with him, but Lofton had a shot at this one.
Well, you know, when you have a guy like James Lofton, he can beat double coverage. He can beat triple coverage. When you have a guy like Wright who has a confidence like that in Lofton, he'll throw it into triple coverage.
And he had that ball there. Bracken back to punt. Manley standing back deep for Troy. It's the first Green Bay punt. Good snap. Look out. The Lions came close to blocking it, but it's a good punt. Cut down by Ken Davis. Little fracas breaks out. That's all stopped. Now a flag goes up. Meanwhile, tomorrow you'll see college football, Maryland, Virginia, 2:30 Eastern time. After that, Notre Dame, USC. And again, the penalty markers down on the field here at the Silverdome. Against Detroit. The discussion continues as the Packers, of course, say, let's take them that way.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on each team. Play is nullified.
On each team. Play nullified, so the Lions will take over at their own 41.
Fouls after the play. First down, Detroit.
Basically, that means two guys were trying to hit each other, and neither one of them hurt each other.
Well, or the official didn't know who to blame, so he blamed both of them, which means neither one are blamed, and it's okay.
First down, Detroit, their own 41. Ferguson back to throw. Chadwick has it. Out of bounds at the 30. 31. Stills knocked him out. This guy is a remarkable receiver, Chadwick, number 89.
Well, he has a good feel here. That's a double zone coverage where you have the corner short and the safety deep, and he gets right in between the two. He gets right in between the two guys. Let's see if you can see what they do here. You see, he's out here. Now he has short here, deep here, and you hit your line here and a line here, and you hit the ball right in there between the two. You see the rotation? Corner didn't get a bump he should have, and that opens the hole for Chadwick.
Chadwick is out. Thompson it is. This is James Jones. Fumble! Scooped up by the Packers. Mossy Cade came up with the ball on the bounce.
Oh, this is going to be an instant replay deal here, I'll guarantee you.
Bobby Leopold made the hit.
Because I think that they're giving the ball back to the Lions.
Well, the offensive unit is still in here.
Let's watch this. This is going to be one, you know, when he had control, when the whistle blew. The ball's loose now. Looks like a fumble to me.
Is this cause for review? I think it is.
Oh, I'm sure it's a review. They'll review it. And there's
McNally.
a guy who's the head of the officials, Art McNally. They got the head guy here reviewing it.
The other head guy on the other side is a little upset about this, and they're still reviewing.
Well, you knew when you saw that play it was going to be a review. Looked like a fumble to me.
Here's a review that's going on now. Poll of the head coaches.
Play stands, second out.
Play stands as is. The head coaches that we've been talking, this is unofficial. Do you favor it? Are you against it? No comment. That was one. Yes, with some alterations. No, 14 now. Leonard Thompson split wide left. Bland is right. Chadwick is out. Ferguson back to throw. Has time. Has Giles in mind. Almost picked off by David Greenwood. This is staggering. Total plays in the NFL, 28,000. That's an approximate number. They have reviewed 275 of those. Reversed only 31. Which again is a tribute to the efficiency of the officials.
Well, what I think, I think the instant replay, there's a place for it, and I think it'll work. I think they have to change a few things, but you can't quit when something goes wrong the first time. You have to give her a shot.
That's Chadwick this time in the slot to the right. It's Ferguson looking in that direction, being chased. He's got James Jones. Jones inside the 20 of Lion, first down. David Greenwood again on the stop. Pickup of 15.
That's the thing that a James Jones gives you. We talked about him before as being a runner, a blocker, and also a pass receiver. Ferguson made a nice little move there around the rush. He was able just to slip the sack and get out and find Jones there in the open.
For a while, James Jones was a tight end at the University of Florida. Drafted by the Lions as a fullback, number 1. Again, it's Jones. Left side to about the 15, just inside, a gain of 3. Randy Scott on the stop. Green Bay leading 23-20. 11 minutes left, third quarter.
Watch down here. Here's the thing. It was a running play, and we see what happens here. They get the punching by Lee and the grabbing on Chadwick. Now, they could have called something there. And why didn't you call that? Chadwick puts his hands out. I didn't do anything. They called nothing. Nada. No call.
2nd and 7. Lions at the Packer 15. Pass caught by Gary James. Brian Noble out. Put his hands on him to make sure he was down. Only a gain of 1.
One thing I think that you have to mention here is this job that Joe Ferguson is doing. Hipple has been the starter. He got injured. Ferguson came in, has won 2 games, and then going today. I mean, here's a guy in his 14th year who's going after guys' records that are named Bradshaw and Starr and guys like this. I mean, this guy has some big, big numbers.
That's the book on him today. If he gets 300 plus today, he'll almost catch Lenny Dawson. Here comes the Packer again. Giles went in. Ferguson went out.
Oh, when Ferguson is mad, he gave the signal that way. Boom. That means, hey, you were supposed to go out, not in. Hey, here's what happens here. Giles comes here, ends up going here. Ferguson wanted him to go here. He had him open. Ferguson throws here. Giles goes here. And then you have to end up with a field goal attempt. Watch Giles here. See, right there, he gave the move, went to the inside, beat his guy, but Ferguson didn't expect that move.
He had already let the ball go to the outside. From 32 yards then to tie it, Murray would Hipple hold it. And it's 23 all with 9:35 left to play in the third quarter. Nobody expected this much scoring. 23 all. Green Bay 23, Detroit 23. 9:35 left to play, third quarter. Eddie Murray, after a drive of 8 plays, 45 yards, finished things off with a tying field goal. He's about ready to kick off. Ken Davis in the middle. Ellerson on one side. Ken Stills on the other side. Murray's kick going to Still, who fields it at the 16. Fumbles. The ball goes out of bounds. The Packers will retain possession.
Hey, and guess who made that thing? Paul Butcher again. I'll tell you, he came flying down the field, Pat. He came flying. Watch him here. He's in the middle. Now he sees it. Now he's going to cut across. Watch him cut across there, throw his body in there, and knock out the ball. He got the first fumble early in the game. He causes this one the second time. You know, it's an interesting story how the Lions got Paul Butcher. On the radio, Darryl Rogers was telling a story about how he was playing golf in Scotland or something, and he says that you know, the caddy said, don't hit the ball out of there, and Darryl said he did it anyway, and he fouled up. Said he should have listened to his caddy, but he didn't do it. Paul Butcher's father wrote Darryl a letter, and he said, I heard your story about your golfing in Scotland and not listening to the caddy. He said, I'm sure you won't listen to this letter either, but I got a kid who you ought to sign. Give him a chance. Darryl said, well, I made one mistake. I won't do it again. So he signed Paul Butcher, and here he is. Thanksgiving Day.
Injured Detroit player is Bostic, and he's still down. Green Bay 23, Detroit 23. First and 10 Packers from their own 21. Randy Wright back to throw. First down. Lofton, the intended receiver. Incomplete.
That ball
Wayne
still
Galloway.
going. Did you see that ball that went by Lofton and just went like a top? It just kept spinning right there.
Like an onside kick.
Yeah, it was just standing up there. Someone could have gone and kicked it, jumped on it, done anything with it. That's what you get on artificial turf in a dome stadium. Those are bad things. I mean, artificial turf, I think, is one of the worst things that's happened to the game. And putting a cover over the place, I don't necessarily like that either.
Helps the laundry people. Well, maybe it hurts them. They just don't get as dirty. Right, chased and down. Vernon Maxwell. The first sack by the Lions. They were coming from everywhere.
Well, they ran that old split six blitz where you see you put two linebackers, one on either side of the center. Then the center has to take one, but the back does a nice job of getting up to get the other one. But it did flush Randy Wright out. By the time he got flushed out, there were a bunch of blue jerseys there.
Flushed Randy right out. Sure did.
The old flush out job.
Third and 16. Mike Moffitt in the game as one of the Packer wide receivers. Right. Over the head of Stanley, who's hit in the back as the ball goes by. And really popped by Galloway. 23 all with 8:45 left to play third quarter.
Well, that's Dwayne Galloway. He's coming up there. He gets that shot right in the back. You know, he's only about 5'7". He's not a big corner. In fact, well, we list him here 5'8". He's probably about 5'6", but his number doesn't even fit in his pants, or it goes in his pants. He's been cut by 3 legs, Galloway.
Bracken back to punt. Good kick. And he chases Manley back inside his own 30. The Packers are down with a good wall early. And down he goes at his own 37. 51-yard punt. 8-yard return, so they net 43. And it's 23 apiece between Green Bay and Detroit. Pat Summerall, John Madden, and we're at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. 8:32 left to play third quarter. Today's attendance 61,199. First down, Detroit at their own 37, tied with the Packers at 23 apiece. Joe Ferguson, the quarterback, down the middle, LeBland. And Carl Bland gets into Packer territory. Stopped by Greenwood. But a gain of 22 nevertheless.
Hey, Bland is also, Chadwick on the other side is a free agent. Bland is a free agent. The Packers are just running a loose zone there. And I've always felt that you got to bump them somewhere. If you're going to be that loose in the secondary, you have to get them bumped on the line.
Chadwick is split to the left this time. And Ferguson gives to James, and James is chased, gets away from one, didn't get away from Tim Harris, and down he goes. A loss of 2.
The other thing, I think the Packers had some success earlier, a lot of success, when they were bringing 97 Tim Harris there. I think they're a lot better when they bring him, either as a down lineman or as a linebacker, but add 4 to their rush than just a 3-man rush. On that last pass completion, they had 3 guys blocking Charles Martin. You blitz the linebacker, of course, they can't do that.
Ferguson asks for quiet on 2nd and 12. Lions at the Packer 43. Ferguson back to throw, chased out of the pocket, just fires for nobody. But a penalty marker down on the far side of the field.
And a penalty marker in the backfield too, Pat.
Ferguson gets up limping and aching.
Offsetting fouls, holding defense 22, intentional grounding number 12 by Detroit, penalties will offset.
You know, you say what can they do to help quarterbacks. This is another thing I think they can do is legalize this. Let them throw the ball away. Yeah, because what you say is you have to sit there and take it. That was illegal throwing away. There's a holding up on top, number 22, Mark Lee, had the hand in front, then up around the throat area.
On Chadwick.
I mean, he has his sleeves rolled up now. He got some pumped up arms on there. That's a hooker.
Chadwick out to the right again. We'll have to cover him again. Ferguson has time. Chadwick has the ball. Chadwick inside the 25 to the 22. Greenwood and still finally got him down. But a gain of 22.
You know, that's the way to beat someone, you know, that thinks that this intimidation deal, that you can bat him around, grab and hit and stuff. Just get there and run a pattern on him. See what it is? Beat him like that, then make him miss a tackle. Chadwick's winning that war. I mean, he's catching touchdown passes, first down passes. He's winning it. The other guys are doing the extracurricular stuff that really doesn't count.
He's caught 6 for 121. His 4th game over 100. Ferguson wants him to move. They give to Jones. Jones gets barely inside the 20, a gain of 1. Darryl Rogers was talking yesterday about Chadwick, saying that they have some test that the Russians use, the East Germans use, and it's a test that's being used now in our country about vertical jumping ability and accelerating ability and stuff of that nature. And they tested Jeff Chadwick, and he is in the world-class category.
Right, it's bounding is what you do, where you stand here like and you jump up on the tables and stuff. Explosion.
They're not any better than he. Ferguson, Giles, touchdown.
Tim Harris was all over Joe Ferguson as he threw this ball. Watch him from the outside. See him right there just as he threw it. But that time, Jimmy Giles and Joe Ferguson were on the same page. Giles went inside. Ferguson threw inside.
Right on the money, as is Eddie Murray. And Detroit leads 30-23. Touchdown pass of 20 yards from Ferguson to Jimmy Giles.
Here's Jimmy Giles here in the touchdown. Here's David Greenwood, who has to cover him. Since it's a blitz, the weak safety comes up to look here. Giles goes here, gives him a move here, into the end zone. Greenwood goes for that, falls down, and Giles gets touchdown right there. Boom. Now watch him there. He comes in here, starts out, gives him the fake there. Watch, Greenwood falls down right on the goal line, and Giles gets in behind him.
Eddie Murray then set to kick it off. Walter Stanley in the middle for the Packers. Packed down by 7 to Detroit. Murray's kickoff is high, short. At the 10. Stanley stays on his feet.
I think Eddie Murray hurt himself kicking off, Pat. He kicked the ball and then just went down. I don't know if it's his kicking leg or what, but he kicked, took about 2 steps and went down. Wow.
That I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean that'd be something, unless he stubbed his toe when he kicked it, you know, and got pulled a groin thing or something.
That could be. They're looking at him. College football tomorrow. Another reminder at 2:30 Eastern Time. Maryland against Virginia. After that, Notre Dame against USC at 3:30 Saturday. Handoff is to Paul Ott to Ruth, and the Lion defense much more aggressive, led by Sheldon Robinson, and Kofor knock him backwards for a loss of 1.
Well, Billy Sims said at halftime that the defense has to tighten up a little. Said the offense is doing okay. He was right. That's what happened. The offense went and got another touchdown, and the defense is tightening up.
They're much more aggressive, the defense, and the offense is pass protecting better.
Success breeds success.
Two good signs if you're a Detroit fan. 2nd and 11. Wright to Lofton. Lofton will have enough in front of Galloway for the first down.
That's the area that they wanted to work on today, was Galloway, and of course you can take a guy like James Lofton and work him on anyone. But eventually they would like to go deep on Galloway, up this right side, the Packer right side, their left side.
Clock running, just under 4 minutes left to play third quarter. First down, Packers at their own 35. Handoff Ellis. Fumble. Galloway comes up with it. Ellis trying to turn it upfield, was hit. Balls on the ground. Galloway made the hit and recovered the fumble.
I'll tell you, that was Galloway's play the whole way. He was up there on the tight end side, and he comes in, makes the tackle. He gets low. Watch him here. Here's Galloway right here. The ball starts this way. He comes up, gets low, knocks the ball out, and recovers the fumble. See the flow? The flow starts here. Now he's the outside guy coming up right there. Boing! Makes the tackle, and then the ball bounces right back to him. Here he is again. See, he takes a couple steps back, up the field and support. Got right down there low, caused the tackle, and it bounced right into him. Oh, they're reviewing that play now, Pat.
He hit the ground. Ellis did. That might have been what knocked the ball loose.
Well, they say the ground can't cause a fumble. In other words, did Galloway hit him, or did the ball hitting the ground fumble?
They are reviewing, and let's look again.
And this is probably the best one right there. I think the ground caused it. I think that's probably going to be ruled not a fumble.
Again?
See, here he has the ball. As it goes down, his elbow hits, and there's the ball coming out. Art McNally is up here reviewing, and I bet he says not a fumble.
To McNally's right is Bill Granholm,
Review. The man
NFL
is
officer.
down. The ball will be placed on the 34-yard line.
Packers keep it. One of the problems they had in the instant replay before was you couldn't understand in the communication. I was talking to Art McNally before the game, and he was saying those new microphones, if you notice the microphone he was wearing, have really improved the system.
Well, and the umpire on the other end is wearing it, and they can just stick it in their ear, and it's easy to handle.
Eddie Murray, in the meantime, is headed for the Lion locker room at the other end of the field. Second down and 11. Packers at their own 34. Here comes the Lion blitz again. And down goes Randy Wright again. Eric Williams, the leader.
There's a nose tackle that's always in there, Dave, fighting all the time. Eric Williams, third year, number 76. Those guys just get the heck beat out of him. You know, I mean, he had a big thing on his hip yesterday. Couldn't practice. Eric Williams
Could hardly walk.
no, could hardly walk. He said, but I'll play. You got to like those kind of guys. He's already coming off a broken neck and a bad hip and leg. They ought to give those guys some drumsticks on Thanksgiving.
He'll
Save
probably get
drumsticks for nose tackles.
He'll get one. Third and 20. Clock running 2:45. Flags down. Forrest Gregg not liking what he's witnessing at the moment
Ball charge. Offense. 5 yards.
against the Pack. Detroit leading 30-23.
Yeah, you can see why Forrest Gregg's mad. Bad total offense this half. Green Bay's -1. Detroit's 108.
First half it was edge Green Bay. Now the second half, edge Detroit. Fumble. They messed up the exchange between the quarterback and the center. Vernon Maxwell comes up with the ball. This time the fumble will stand.
Wright is a legitimate one.
Yeah. It was on the exchange.
I don't think the quarterback ever got the ball. Watch this, it just came up, it never got back to him. He just snapped in it and hit himself in the back.
I think he thought Randy Wright was not in the shotgun.
Yeah,
I
he
think
thought he was up
under
there. Look, he thinks he's up there right
Yeah,
behind him.
right.
And he just put it right up there. He just put it up there thinking Wright was behind him, and Wright was back in the shotgun.
I've never seen that before.
Who would have thought?
Well, a lot of them don't look. I know that. Here's Gary James around the corner. And out of bounds. Mark Lee knocked him out of bounds. Here comes Eddie Murray back out of the locker room. He had his leg retaped. I didn't know it was taped to begin with.
Look at that left knee, Pat. You can see he has some stuff hanging out of there.
Yep.
I think what they did looked like they put a brace on him. Because when he kicked off that ball, you could see him. He took like 2 steps and went down. And that, of course, the left leg is his plant leg.
Second down and 4. The Lions at the Packer 11. It's James again. James out of bounds at about the 10. Pickup of 2, maybe a yard and a half. Bobby Leopold. Brian Noble is the Packer down.
He's the guy that's been playing outstanding football for this Packers, the inside linebacker, Brian Noble. I know even Mike Ditka, when he was talking about this Packer defense and saying that they were, hooligans or whatever, he said, Brian Noble is one of the good players. Rogers said that yesterday.
It's like it's a problem with his left leg. in obvious pain. Coming up on Sunday, don't forget, a doubleheader here on CBS. It begins at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL today. Rams, Jets, Washington, St. Louis, and Tampa Bay visits Minnesota. Then the second game, either Philadelphia against those charging Los Angeles Raiders or Atlanta against Miami, coming off that big win against the Jets last Monday night. In the meantime, the AFC playoff picture is, as always at this time of year, complicated. In the East, the New York Jets. Right now, if the playoffs started. In the Central, Cleveland, Cincinnati tied. In the West, Denver at 9-3. But there are some legitimate pursuers. New England at 9-3, the Raiders 8-4, Kansas City maybe not such a legitimate pursuer at 7-5.
Well, I think when the Raiders start making the move now with a Jim Plunkett at quarterback, I think everyone starts to look
back.
Look back behind you and say, are those guys still coming after us?
I remember we were talking, John, and this is not a knock against Mark Wilson. And it's tough for any quarterback, as we've been talking about today. Question, will he last the whole year physically, not performance-wise?
Well, that's the thing that's always going to, hinder a Mark Wilson. That and some inconsistency in his play, that he's not one of those strong guys that's going to hold up against a lot of things. And then the good news, I think it's always helped the Raiders, is there's always Jim Plunkett to bring in when he goes down.
John Dorsey has replaced Brian Noble, number 99, in the middle of the Packer defense. Third down and 3. Ball is at the Packer 10. Bland from Ferguson, touchdown. A shot by Ferguson.
Hey, they got this offense going. The Lions, we just saw there, they scored on their last 5 possessions. They talk about Chuck Long being the quarterback of the future. Joe Ferguson is the guy today. He zipped that ball right in there to Carl Bland. Whap.
Eddie Murray out to try the extra point. Retaped leg, new brace, everything. He's good. 37, Detroit. Green Bay 23. Minute 48 left, third quarter. What's going on? Head coaches of Green Bay since 1959, Vince Lombardi and his winning percentage, followed by Phil Bingston, Dan Devine, then Bart Starr, now Forrest Gregg. The Lombardi legend is tough to follow.
Well, and it's proven that, that no one has, and I think this guy has a chance. I mean, as we said, they were 8-8 for 3 years. And they didn't want to keep going at it. Sometimes to take a couple of steps forward, you have to take a few back. And right now, they're taking a few back. I think right now, he's disappointed in his defense because he felt real good about that last night. But they have to, get some young players, let them make their mistakes, then hope they can get those guys when they come along, put a few more in there, and be a contender again.
Lost a couple of key guys on that defense today. Tiger Green, one of them, and then Noble. Short kick comes down to Stanley. Stanley out of the bunch. Flag goes down. Over on the sideline, a pushing match begins. William Graham was one of the players involved in the area where the flag was thrown. 24-yard return by Stanley.
Well, it's probably against the receiving team. No, it's against the kicking team. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, I guess, unnecessary roughness.
I think against Graham, number 34. 33 or James Griffin, I'm not sure which.
I don't think Tony knows.
Foul. Number 24 defense added to the run. First down.
24. They changed it around. Alvin Moore, they call the penalty against.
Yeah, I would think that the Central Division leads the league in penalties.
I would think so.
Because they have all those things, you know, the Lions and the Bears and the Packers and all those teams that just try and get after each other.
The Vikings.
The Vikings.
On first down, right to Lofton. Complete in front of Galloway, a gain of 7. They move into Lion territory.
I know when the Bears and the Packers play, it's like there's a fight during and after every play.
Intense.
And then they talk in the newspapers the week before, they talk in the newspapers the week after.
And they play twice every year. Ellis is split wide to the right, leaving Caruth the lone setback. They give to Caruth. He's got some good yardage. Down to about the 35. Vernon Maxwell tripped him up. Caruth got 11.
They had some good blocking over there on that right side. Hallstrom and Weingrad. You see, they make some holes there. Part of it, I think, was a little holding there. In fact, it looked like that was Moran in there, right guard.
Could be. It is Moran. Tiger Green headed for the locker room. Wide open is Stanley. Touchdown. Randy Wright looked to the right and then looked back, and all he had to do was throw it and get it close. He was wide open.
Well, that's what he was saying. He was saying that they're going to go deep, and they're going to go deep to... Here it is. We'll see Stanley on the outside. The Lions, I think, just dropped the coverage there. Whether that was man-to-man, then that's Bruce McNorton who should have had the coverage. Or if it's zone, then the safety didn't get over, Demetrius Johnson. But in any case, Walter Stanley has the touchdown.
His second today.
The Packers don't have enough guys on the field. Now they do.
They got it settled. Extra point by Del Greco is good. 37-30.
Let's see what happens. Here's Stanley out here. Now as he comes, this is McNorton here. If it's a zone, he would bump him, and this safety should get over. If it's man-to-man, of course he has to cover him. Watch, Stanley comes off the line. It kind of looks like zone there, that the safety didn't get over. But see, he stopped, he doesn't get over, and that makes a big space of open field for Stanley to run a touchdown into.
Randy Wright, before he threw it, looked for a second or two, it seemed, to his right, and then he just looked back in that direction to Stanley.
You know, one thing today proves, Pat, is players don't wear gloves for the cold weather, because they all got to be. Well, Stanley said, yeah, that's right. I think, you know, when they did away with Stickum, when they outlawed Stickum, that's when all these gloves came in.
Right.
And they use them indoors, outdoors, hot weather, anything. I think that helps them catch the ball.
Well, as hard as some of the quarterbacks throw it, and as many times as those guys catch it, it can hurt your hands.
I think it was man-to-man. Darryl Rogers is talking to Bruce McNorton there. And I think he was saying that was your man. You can't come up like that. McNorton's looking over to Demetrius Johnson and saying, where were you?
Herman Hunter standing back deep in the middle. Del Greco to kick off. Good kick. Herman Hunter retreats right into the corner. They set up the wedge in front of him there. Greenwood misses. Mossy Cade finally gets him down, and the Packers arrive to help. Jim Harris, who's been all over the field, breaks him down.
I'll tell you, if there's a bright spot on this team, on this Packer team, to me it's Tim Harris. I mean, this guy has done everything. And block kicks, he runs down on kickoffs, he blitzes a quarterback, he plays as a linebacker, a down lineman. Like I said, he's all Thanksgiving. All Thanksgiving team.
29 seconds left, third quarter. Lions 37, Packers 30.
Chadwick is all Thanksgiving.
Yes. Ferguson might be.
He is.
He's back and going to work again. To Giles. And he's open. Giles for Lion first down. Stopped by Stills. A gain of 19 and a Detroit first down.
Now you have two real veterans working there. There's a penalty on the play and it'll go back, but you have a 14-year veteran in Joe Ferguson throwing to a 10-year veteran, Jimmy Giles. Giles can find those openings in the zone, and Ferguson can find Giles.
Half the distance of the goal line, still first down.
Holding against James Jones. Tiger Green out of that secondary. Here's Harris again.
Well, you can see him there. He's in a three-point stance. See, and he's the guy. In fact, he's the guy that caused the holding. The holding penalty was on him. This guy makes things happen. He makes guys hold them and stuff.
We may make him all holidays.
He's only a rookie. He could make 10 years of it.
Here's Ferguson outside to Gary James. Gain of 6. John Dorsey on the stop. That's the end of the third quarter with the score Detroit 37, Green Bay 30. We now pause for a word from your local station. We're at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Pat Summerall here with John Madden as we start quarter number 4. Ferguson back to throw. Has some time. Pass is intercepted. Mossy Cade comes up with the interception, and the Packers will take over inside the Lion 30. Chadwick, the intended receiver, fell down. He may have lost his spot on the All-Thanksgiving team.
We see Chadwick as he goes to make the cut here. He's going to go up now. Now he just started to the outside. It looked like, I don't know what kind of pattern he was running. But I think what happened, Ferguson was throwing it out, and Patterson was running a slump. Nothing.
Chadwick, you mean?
Chadwick, yeah. What did I say, Ferguson?
No, you said Patterson. I don't know where he came from.
Elvis Patterson. Pat Patterson.
This is Ellis. He breaks one tackle, gets inside the 25. Packer fans never die, they move. In this case, they move to Detroit. Gain of 4 by Ellis.
Well, anyway, on that last play, what I was trying to say is Ferguson threw an out, and Chadwick ran a nothing. And Cade got it.
The Packers have it. 2nd and 6. Short blitz, quick handoff. The exchange between Caruth and Wright was on the ground momentarily, and Wright got it back.
I think it was caused by William Gay. It looked like 79 there in a blue jersey came flying across that line, and he hit the quarterback, the ball, and the ball carrier all at the same time. Let's see if we can see it here. There's Gay, 79. See, watch him there. He gets the ball. Yeah, he arrives there. The quarterback, the ball carrier, and Gay were all there at the same time.
Neither one of them had a chance. Third down. 11. Here comes the blitz again. Almost picked off by Vernon Maxwell, and he had nothing but carpet in front of him. The ball.
You he's going to stay in that stance for 2 minutes. I'll tell you, because not only did he not get the interception, but as you said, Pat, there was no one out there on that side. That was not only an interception, it was a touchdown. Wright looks all the way. Maxwell reads him. Look, he has it. Now watch here. What about, there's nothing there in the right of the screen.
46-yard field goal attempt by Del Greco. No. So with 13:20 left to play, the score remains Detroit 37, Green Bay 30. (37-30). The Lions lead with 13:20 left to play. By quarters, Green Bay led 13-10 after one. And Detroit came back strong third quarter and took the lead. And they still lead 37-30. 13:20 left to play. Ferguson has quarterbacked all day as Jones and James behind him. Packer jumps. Ben Thomas.
Defense, number 92, 5 yards, still first down.
5-yard penalty leads to a first down. That'll make it 1st and 5. That's Bostic over on the sideline being taped. Obviously a problem with his right shoulder. Hurt on that kickoff return that flew out of bounds. James. Brian Noble back in the game. Made the stop. James got 4. It'll bring up a 2nd down and a 1.
You know, an interesting thing, Pat, we haven't heard a lot today from Charles Martin. And I wonder if the thing with the suspension and everything that happened to him last week, I wonder if that's bothering him today, because he really hasn't been a force today. I mean, he's not a great pass rusher anyway, but they've been getting a little running in there on either side of him. It really hasn't been much of a force today.
Well, with all that's been written and all the distractions, it has to be a factor. Factor was faked the blitz, didn't do it. Giving in to James, and James off to the races. James inside the Packer 45, almost to the 40. Lee and Cade finally stopped him, but Gary James got 22 yards.
Yeah, watch the blocking on this one. It's going to go to the left side, to the right there, Martin. They take a double team. They get outside of him. They get a pretty good hole on that left side. Now they have Lomas Brown there, the left tackle, who was a #1 draft choice 2 years ago. Harvey Salem, who was a tackle. The Lions have 4 offensive tackles playing.
They also have a first down. Packer 40, and it's James again. Still on his feet. He's going to score. However, hold everything. There's a flag on the play.
I think it's going to be against the Lions. And I think it's against Lomas Brown. Somehow he's a left tackle. He pulled all the way. He ended up all the way over here on the right side. I think the penalty was right in front of the Detroit bench.
Darrell Rogers now talking to the official who made the call.
Illegal block during the run, number 75. It's
Lomas
10 yards.
Brown.
Still first down.
Yeah, he's the left tackle. Watch him. He's hustling. He's coming across the field. James Jones is running. He started at left tackle. This is all the way over on the right side. And he goes to hit him, and he just gets the back. Ken Stills.
It's a legitimate call.
That's it right there. Yeah, he hit him right between the 2 and the 3. He did it. That was good hustle. Sometimes if the guy hadn't hustled, he wouldn't have been in position to make that block on the opposite sideline.
First down. They're back at the 41-yard line of the Packers. Alvin Alvin Moore has replaced Gary James. Ferguson. Chase out of the pocket. Just throws it away.
Here we watch Lomas Brown now. He's blocking on Robert Brown, number 93. He just had the penalty, so now he says, I'm going to get over here and pass protect, and it'll be my turn now. That's a strong guy. See, he got those two hands up on Brown, and he put him on his back. They say that of the young players, he may be their next All-Pro.
2nd and 11. 11 and a half minutes left to play. Handoff is to Gary James. He gets a couple. We'll bring up a 3rd down situation. And don't forget that the Lions kicker, field goal kicker, Eddie Murray, had to go in and have his leg retaped. And he came back looking a little cautious about putting any weight on his left leg. So his range might be cut down. Third and 9. Ferguson back to throw. Up the middle quickly. Flag down. They're saying incomplete. But again, there's a penalty marker. Jeff Chadwick couldn't hang on. David Greenwood made the hit. Against the Packers.
See that that umpire that was just in the picture? This is referee Jim Tunney.
Holding. Defense, number 53, 5 yards, first down.
Bobby Leopold, but the big thing about that one is it is a first down at the Packer 35. We're just an offsides or something like that. It would not have been enough for the first. Green Bay has been penalized 12 times for a loss of 90 yards. First down, Detroit, the Packer 35. They lead by a touchdown. Ferguson. Bland. By Greenwood. A gain of only 2.
Detroit does a good job here of picking up the stunt of the Packer linemen. You see, they start to the inside, bring the nose tackle onto the outside. They get him pushed around. That gives Ferguson looked like he had more time than he thought he was going to get. But that stunt was going to break open.
2nd and 8. Cuts back to get to the line of scrimmage, maybe lost one. Ben Thomas made the stop.
The guy who got up there in the backfield, watch 49 here, David Greenwood. He's coming right now. The ball snaps. See, he gets penetration into the backfield, takes on the block, does a spinner, makes the ball carrier go up beyond him, and then makes a play a no-gainer. This is another guy that Forrest Gregg likes. He said he's, you know, the Stills, the Green, Tim Harris, Greenwood. He said these are the guys I want to build my defense around.
3rd and 9. Ferguson yelling to his wide receivers. This side they're Bland and Chetler. The other side it's Leonard Thompson. And the 30-second clock runs out. They couldn't get it done. Not quickly enough. Exactly 9 minutes left to play. It's Detroit 37, Green Bay 30. Two coaches you just saw. That's Darryl Rogers. And of course Forrest Gregg before. This guy is very candid. You ask him questions.
Well, you know, he's always been that type of guy. I coached against Darryl in junior college, 4-year college, and played against him in college, and he's always been a candid guy to the point of being outspoken.
3rd down and 13. Ferguson gets away from Runwasher to Bland, and he can't hang on. He had enough for the first down. David Greenwood put the hammer on, knocked it loose. Tim Harris put the rush on Ferguson.
I'll tell you, Greenwood put the hammer and a whole big load behind the hammer. I mean, he made Bland look like a noodle. Here's the rush, and again, it's Harris. See Harris there? He's the guy that backed Ferguson up and flushed him out a little.
So Arnold is in to kick. Stanley standing back at about the 12-yard line. Arnold will either try to nub it straight up or angle it out of bounds.
He could be very happy just to get it off his foot.
You don't think they do any tricks here, do you?
If I were the Packers, I'd go for a block against this guy.
Well, they've gotten one already. They're still counting. Make sure they have enough people in the game. Trying for the corner. Looks like pretty good effort. Bounces straight up and goes finally into the end zone, and a flag goes down. 38-yard punt by Arnold went into the end zone. So we'll see what happened on the penalty. Otherwise, the Packers will go back to the 20.
The Packers have to, I'm sure that it's a penalty after the ball was kicked. What you have to watch out there is you get the penalty before the ball kicked, and they get a first down. This looks like it'll probably go against the Packers after the ball was kicked. Some holding or something.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 87 on the return team is a post-possession foul from the 20 to the 10-yard line, half the distance, 1st and 10.
Stanley is number 87.
See him, he's going to be right there with the towel. See the towel? He's coming across there. And what it was hitting to the face. He's
at 170. He's not big enough to be hitting in the face. Detroit by 7. (37-30). 8:20 left to play. The Lions over the Packers. Packers have the ball at their own 10. Lofton left. Stanley right. Ellis. Just a little bit short of the first down. A gain of 9, stopped by Vernon Maxwell. Still working on Bostic over on the sideline.
Well, they're going to tape it again. It looked like the first time they tried to do it over his shirt. And now they're doing it right there to the skin. Look at that T-shirt, though. You don't think these guys sweat during that game. I mean, that thing is soaking wet.
Ellis. He bounces away from one tackler, now from another, and has a first down. Maxwell on the stop. Ellis scrambled out to the 25, stopped finally. Ferguson hit him first. Maxwell finally brought him down. A gain of 6. Bland now being administered to over on the sideline. There was Bostic earlier. Now this is Bland.
Still a lot of good sweat over there.
Yep. Both of them sweat. First down, Packers. Their own 26. Randy Wright back to throw. For Stanley, it's picked off by Galloway. And Galloway down the far sideline, still on his feet. Finally down inside the Packer 5. Could put it away. A 36-yard return. 6:47 left to play.
You know, a lot of times this happens, Pat, where the guy that you're going to go after, the guy you think you can work on, is the guy that picks it off and ends up beating you. Today, that guy is this guy, Dwayne Galloway. I mean, he's made the plays. He's made the interceptions. He's made the hits. Coming off the field, James Lofton thought that he was open. Let's see, here he is. He's on the other side, away from the interception. That's what he sees. Of course, he looks back there, and he could have. Randy Wright didn't look this way. He looked the other way and threw it to Dwayne Galloway.
First and goal for the Lions at the Packer 4. Detroit up by 7. They go with their, here come the flags now.
I think the Packers were trying to take time out, Pat. They didn't have enough men on the field.
Guard, timeout. Called before the snap. Green Bay, number 1.
Packers used one of their timeouts. They have 2 remaining. That could be costly. Lions up by 7. All right, Brent, thank you. Detroit 37, Green Bay 30. First and goal, Lions. Just inside the 5. Jones gets down to about the 2. Maybe the 3.
This is a short yardage offense of the Tigers. There's of the Lions. There's James Jones. He's looking in there. He sees he got his short yardage guys, and he's looking at Green Bay's short yardage guys. And he knows that shortly there's going to be a collision. And there it is. You get all those big guys packed in there. You know you have to keep everything low.
Second and goal from the 3. They get to about the 2. Scott Williams, the ball carrier. Ezra Johnson made the stop.
The Lions have a 7-point lead here with 6 minutes to go. I thought the 5-yard line is a little close to put in your real power offense. You know, the one where they have an extra guard, Steve Kenny, playing one tight end. Then they have a nose tackle, Steve Bach, playing the other tight end. Usually you like that inside the 3.
Bach is on the right end. Kenny is on the left end. Giles in motion. Ferguson looking for Bach. Flags all over the place. Pushing and shoving.
Now there is something when you get a defensive nose tackle going out for a pass against a defensive end.
Alfonso Carricker back there on the coverage.
Carricker was covering Bach. And of course there's going to be, watch him right there to the left of the screen, of course there's going to be some contact
Offsetting
there.
fouls. Defensive pass interference 76. Offensive pass interference 68. Replay it out.
Yeah, they just called them both. They both couldn't handle it. That's what the officials thought. They saw a 68 and a 76 in the end zone. They threw the flags because they never wanted to see it again.
What are they doing in the end zone anyway?
Don't give me those old nose tackles running corner pattern.
Against the defensive end.
They got their hands all taped up and stuff. How are they going to catch it anyway? Those big old arms, knee braces on.
Tight jerseys.
Like I said, who called that one? Give me some hits, man.
Jones tries to go over the right side. Doesn't make it. Gain of 1 again. Now they're saying there might be a fumble down in there, but who knows? Get them all unstacked. Here's Murray. The word on Eddie Murray, by the way, was that he did not hurt his knee, that the brace he has on his left knee was too tight and cut off the circulation in his left foot. So he went back to the locker room to have the brace adjusted, and now they put some kind of sock over it. Think that's long enough explanation?
Well, I still think there's an injury there because I saw him when he kicked the ball and go down. You don't go down with tight clothes. You know, I mean, sometimes you have a tight belt or something. It doesn't make you go whap down into a heap.
This field goal attempt from 19 yards. He is good with it. And it's 40-30. Who would have thought? 70 points. 5 minutes, 6 seconds left to play. Murray, after all that too tight brace, still was effective.
And I think Murray has to be all Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, there's another guy. Yeah, get a kicker on there, especially a kicker with a brace. You know, you go to the brace, and the kicker makes all Thanksgiving.
Don't forget, tomorrow, beginning tomorrow, I should say, CBS Sports covers college football with the Maryland Terrapins against the Virginia Cavaliers live at 2:30 Eastern Time. And after that, Notre Dame at USC in the Coliseum live at 3:30. That's on Saturday. Some of the crowd starting to depart from the Silverdome on this Thanksgiving Day. We all trust it's been a good one for you. Murray out to kick off. Walter Stanley back. 5:06 left to play. 40-30. The Lions lead the Packers. Stanley back in the middle. Ellerson on his right. Stills on his left. Murray gets a lot of foot into this one. It's going to be Ellerson at the goal line. Ellerson down just outside the 20 by James Johnson. A return of 21.
Well, and there was Paul Butcher in there too, 96 again. Let's watch him get out. We have to put him all Thanksgiving. All Thanksgiving special team. Watch him. He's been in on every tackle. He's caused 2 fumbles. The guy just goes all the time. Look, he tackles his own guy, their guy, all of them. So he'll be all Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Butcher.
No doubt about that.
Yep, Butcher, yeah. And they all get drumsticks. All the guys get drumsticks today.
Don't you get a portrait or something?
Nope, just a drumstick. Slop it up in some gravy.
Right. Lofton. Lofton stays in bounds momentarily. Stays in long enough for them to get a first down. 40-30 Detroit. First and 10 Packers at the 31. Lofton got out of bounds, got the first down, got the clock stopped. Remember that Green Bay, when they were down in that first and goal situation, the Lions had to use a timeout. So they only have 2 left. Lofton is to the left this time. Right up the middle, and off is Stanley. Headed for the end zone and still headed in that direction. Down at about the 5 by Devon Mitchell.
I don't care what you say, you need speed in today's football. And anytime you have it, you're never out of any game. The Packers need 2 scores. There's a little over 4 minutes to go. They need a big one. Boom, he finds Stanley. Now watch the speed take off. 3 Lions in there. Boom. I think had he keep going, I think he could outrun those guys. He stopped to make a move and cut back inside. I think with the speed Stanley has, he could have outrun the whole group. But I'll tell you, Wright makes a heck of a move getting rid of this ball as he's being chased.
62 yards. First and goal, Packers. Lofton and Stanley both split wide to the right. Stanley comes in motion. Wright stumbles coming out of there. Lets it go. And a flag is down on the play.
You know, it didn't look like to me that the Packer offensive line could hear. And I think they were moving. I think that's going to be against the Packers.
It is.
It looked like both of the guards were trying to hear the starting count. And were both moving to get their head in better position.
Maybe that's what they're trying to do with their head in better position. Be able to
Illegal
hear.
motion number 86. Penalties accepted. 5 yards. Still first down.
Penalty against Ed West, the tight end. Green Bay penalties today, 14 times for 105 yards. That's tough to overcome. First and goal now from the 11. Lone setback is Caruth. Good time for a draw play, maybe. Nope. Caruth wide open. Touchdown, Green Bay. 11 yards. Wright to Caruth.
Wright was looking over at the guy who called that play and saying, thank you, that's a good one. It was the same type of thing that you were thinking about with a draw play. You get all the receivers out there, they're all going to cover, they're going to blitz, so you just flip the ball out there. Caruth, your fullback, no one's covering him, and he walks into the end zone.
That makes it 40-36. 3:31 left to play. Del Greco is good.
Everyone's looking for Lofton, they're looking for Stanley, and there's Caruth. No one was looking for Caruth.
No. 40-37. 3.5 minutes left to play, so plenty of time. Packers took them 3 plays to go 79 yards. Of course, the big one to Stanley kept it 1:35 seconds. 11-yard pass, touchdown pass from Randy Wright to Caruth.
Well, here's where you start thinking about an onside kick or no. I don't think the Packers will kick an onside kick.
No.
Detroit's down here, they're talking about they'll probably be in an onside prevent.
Just about have to be, don't they?
But I think they have the timeouts. You see, Green Bay still has 2 timeouts, 3:31 to go, and they're only 3 points down. So I think the last thing they would do is kick an onside kick.
And I think Detroit figures the same way you do. They don't have all the guys up front with 3:31 left to play, as you said. Herman Hunter back standing at his own 5. Del Greco's kickoffs so far have been only to about the 10. That one's going to be deeper. Hunter in the corner at the goal line. Out to the 20. John Simmons on the stop. Back in 1951, Detroit and Green Bay scored 87 points. The Lions won it. Today they've scored 77, with the Lions up by 3. Santa made the trip.
Yeah, that's a bad Santa. He needs some bulk on him. Santa, you got to be a Bubba to be a Santa. You can't be a little old skinny.
Needs a different color hat, too.
Yeah, a real hat. Get some bulk, some sinkers.
James to about the 23, 24. Stopped by Noble. A gain of 3.
I'll tell you one thing. Harris was in there. That guy, Tim Harris, the way he plays, he's going to be an all-pro in this game. I mean, he's going to be one of those guys like, the Lawrence Taylors and the Otis Wilsons and those guys that make things happen. When he slams them to the ground, he's serious.
He rushes the passer. He plays all over the place. He covered kickoffs. James again. Hit by Ben Thomas. Like he's about 4 yards short of the first down. Third down and about 3 make it. Ball at the 28. Green Bay takes a timeout. They only have 1 left now.
I don't know that they needed that one at that time. They're going to get one at the 2-minute warning, of course, but I don't think Detroit can slow this game down. I mean, 2 minutes is still a lot of football. And I think right now, even though they're behind by 3, I think the Packers have the momentum.
That big pass from Randy Wright to Stanley that got him back in the game, sort of shifted the whole atmosphere of the game. League leading rushers in 1986 this year. Eric Dickerson, followed by the remarkable Joe Morris, Walter Payton, George Rogers of Washington, all over 1,000 already. Todd Christensen of the Raiders with 76 catches. He's something else. Al Toon of the Jets, Clark of Washington, and Jerry Rice.
There's a guy at something, that Gary Clark, the Redskins, and the things that he can do.
And the passers, O'Brien of the Jets, Eason of New England, Tommy Kramer of Minnesota, and Marino of Miami. By yards, it's Marino over Schrader, and then Kozar and Moon. Kozar has had a couple of 400-yard games plus in a row.
I think the way the other guy's playing, that Jay Schrader, he may be the one I would take. I think he's a guy who doesn't get a lot of respect as one of the top quarterbacks, but he is.
On third down, they give to Gary. No, I beg your pardon. That's Herman Hunter, who usually plays just in passing situations, and that perhaps was one.
Well, that's what they were doing. They were making him think pass. Then they ran a trap up there, a quick trap to Hunter, and that was a big first down.
Hunter got 6. We get the 2-minute warning with the score: Detroit 40, Green Bay 37.
Here's that big third down play, and here's why it worked. Here's the middle. There's no one in the middle. You see, that's the umpire, not a player. Here's a trap play. They let Carricker go. They don't block him. Then the left tackle, Lomas Brown, pulls, kicks him out. He thinks he's free. He's rushing the passer. Boom, kicks him out, and Hunter runs the ball right in there. That's what a trap play is. Watch 76. You don't block him, then you bring from the outside and you get him, and that's what opens the hole. And when there's no middle linebacker in there, that helps.
You get 6 and you get your first down. Here's James again. Hit after a gain of perhaps 2 or 3. John Dorsey. And Green Bay takes a timeout. That's all they have left. 1:54 left to play in the contest. All these Green Bay defensive backs wear some sort of a towel.
Well, I think, you know, they lead the league in towels. They have towels in the front, the back, the side, and of course we remember Martin's famous towel last Sunday against the Bears. He had a towel in the front. He has it there today, but he had 5 Bears. He had McMahon's number 9, he had Gentry, he had Payton, and he had Hilgenberg, and who did he have? He had one other guy.
Alvin Thomas, I think. But I'm not sure about that. But at any rate,
no, Willie Gault was the other guy. Yeah.
83ers.
So he had those 5 guys. And then, of course, you know, Jim McMahon went down, and that towel became a very unpopular thing. Now, today they got them. They all got their towels on, front, back, side, boom. I thought it was to wipe the hands, but a lot of guys have towels and gloves.
2nd and 7. The ball at the 37. Packers on a blitz. James, right side for 2 more. Randy Scott on the stop. Now they can't stop the clock.
Green Bay can't. So what they have to do, it's 3rd down. They have to stop them one more time, and then they're forced to punt. Then they get an automatic timeout at the change of possession.
And then they got to go for the bundle. Throw it as far as they can, as quick as they can.
And of course, Detroit wants to take full use of that 30-second clock, which is now at 12.
Game clock shows 1:15 now left to play. Ferguson has the 30-second clock now down to 4. That's the ball there. James, Chase. So they won't get the first down, but there'll be less than a minute left when the Packers do get the ball. Penalty marker down, and that'll stop the clock.
And Gary James did a smart thing by not going out of bounds. And of course, of all the penalties today, this is the biggest one.
Against Detroit. they didn't get the first down, you got to refuse it.
They have to refuse it because what Detroit needs now is they want to keep the ball. Of course, what the Packers need is the ball, not time.
Holding. Offense number 81 is declined. 4th down.
They decline the penalty. Arnold comes on. The Packers got to go with an all-out rush here, don't they?
Well, of course, the clock was stopped with a penalty, so now time is not important on this play. And then when the ball is caught, then, of course, that'll also be an automatic timeout. But I would think I would go for the block. I mean, Jim Arnold is not the steadiest of punters. They've already blocked one. I think I'd go for it and hope that I didn't rough.
They're coming. He got it away, and he got off at Andy. Stanley at his own 20. He's had a big day. Reverses his field. It's a block, and he's got some room. One man left. It's Arnold. He's gone. He's gone.
And there's no flags.
No penalty. Yard return.
That makes Walter Stanley all Thanksgiving. We're getting a load of them today.
And more.
What a run. I'll tell you, speed kills.
What a day he's had. Also lets you know that he's got to be in shape. Del Greco makes it 44-40.
Yeah, I tell you, it looked like they had Stanley here. There was really a good punt when she starts to the left. Here comes all the Detroit guys. Now he stops, reverses his field, and he outruns the whole pack. He didn't need any blocks. He's just outrunning everything. There really wasn't a good block there. Well, the punter was picked off, but he wasn't going to tackle him anyway.
Really, the only block thrown was the one on the punter, Mossy Cade.
Right, and Stanley did that all by himself, starting left. Then that whole Detroit thing got caught up inside, and then Walter Stanley just outran the whole group.
41 seconds left to play. The Lions have all of their timeouts remaining.
I tell you, this game has really been a big game for special teams. Special teams on both sides.
This telecast is presented by authority. The National Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Detroit Lions and the National Football League is prohibited. See who made all Thanksgiving today.
I didn't know anyone was going to keep track of it. I'll tell you, I like this team, though. Chadwick early, Ferguson was throwing the ball. Harris, he's made a lot more than 2 tackles. I don't know what that means. Murray, kick, got the brace on, the tight deal. Butcher, and of course Stanley, man, he's usually a hero the whole day. He gets 2 drumsticks. Pretty good club, not bad.
Yeah. Del Greco's kickoff sails back to Herman Hunter. And Herman Hunter gets out to about the 25. Greenwood was down on the coverage team, a return of 23. The stop clock's now with 35 seconds left to play. The Packers leading it 44-40. This is a Thanksgiving Day game that will be remembered.
Hey, this is NFL football. I mean, we've had it. We've had passing, running, teams, big plays. That's what it's all about.
First down, Detroit.
The only thing we need is a little more controversy.
Yeah.
If we could have a controversial ending, then we really got a full package.
Well, we might. Jones and Hunter behind Ferguson in the Detroit backfield. 30 Ferguson back to throw. Picked off by Albert Watts. Watts should wrap it up for the Packers. Leonard Thompson was the intended receiver. Green Bay takes over, headed for their third victory of the year.
Walter Stanley was saying on the sideline there, he said the pack is back. Tell you, Watts was just dropping back and reading. He just read that, watched Ferguson, read his eyes, went out to the right, keeps the ball. You know, you see that celebrating that high five? You know, I was on a train and I was talking to some people that had a little baby. They told me the first thing now that a baby learned, you know, it used to be like mama or dada or, you know, that stuff. And the first thing they learn now is a high five. Yeah, first thing a baby learns.
Well, who do they high five with?
Mama and dada.
Well, that's almost the same thing.
Yeah. There's a towel on the ground, I think, isn't it?
Detroit takes a timeout. That's their first.
You know, we talk about all those towels on the Packers sideline. Supposedly, against the Bears last week, they had a $50 bounty for any Bear that could get a towel off a Packer. And they'd bring it to the sideline and cut it up.
Neil Anderson got one from Stills, and they cut it up over on the sideline.
Now the Packers are throwing theirs into the stands free.
The NFL this weekend, don't forget. It begins, of course, at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today. Doubleheader week here on CBS. The Rams, Jets, Washington, St. Louis, Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Game 2, either the Philadelphia Eagles at the Raiders or the Atlanta Falcons at Miami.
Timeout, Detroit.
Detroit takes another timeout. That's their second with 22 seconds left to play.
I'll tell you, I think both of these teams played very hard today. I mean, both are offense and defense and special teams, and I think for these records and where these teams are, I think they probably played as well as they can. This is about as good as these teams can be, which is pretty good.
There's one of our all Thanksgiving Day players.
He's still fired up. You got to tell you got to calm down at the end. Look, he's given tens. I think he wants some more hits.
Detroit takes another timeout. Their third. Now they can't stop it anymore.
You know, another area we talk about the players and the teams that have done a good job today, and I mean, I do have a tendency sometimes to be critical of officials, but I really felt that this was a well-officiated game today.
We have post-game show coming up, as that's all of this one. The Packers 44 and the Lions 40. For John Madden and Irv Cross, Pat Summerall saying so long from Pontiac Silverdome, where the final score was the Packers 44